right, welcome back to the Millennial Meltdown podcast. Here today with Kam Sneed. Thanks for being here, dude.
Oh, yeah, thank you. That's a fucking tight-ass intro, bro.
Thanks, man.
I'm so glad you played that.
That was made by my homie, Trash Snow. Forgot his DJ name up in Flagstaff.
DJ Snowplow.
Yeah, he made that for me, almost 3 years ago now. So, I can't believe I have my own intro. I need to get a new one. I want to get one with, audio clips of, old podcasts and shit.
Oh, yeah.
Or,
Highlights.
Things. But, working on it. We'll get there.
I dig it.
Yeah, been working on a new logo and shit, too. Josh Jones?
Oh, yeah.
He's working
Tattoo
on one
guy?
for me. Yeah. And then I'm going to have Josh Boyle start editing something, I think.
Wow, you're working.
I'm trying
stepping it up.
Trying to, dude.
You got an LLC yet?
It's in the works. No, I don't yet, but I've thought about it for sure.
Yeah. I don't know what means really. I just know it's a thing if you're about your business, you know?
Oh, really?
I guess.
Oh, yeah. I studied business in college before I switched my major. So I studied I had a business law class even. Studying shit about LLCs and the differences of liability and all that bullshit.
And then you got bored and switched.
Fuck yeah. Yeah. I switched to film because I was like, dude, I legit was like, I'd rather have fun.
You just lost interest, huh?
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
I would have done the same thing. Well, I probably would have started with film. I probably wouldn't even go to college if I didn't really if it was something I knew I wouldn't like, you know?
Yeah. So, I mean, what is your story? Did you go to college? Where are you
from?
Where'd you graduate? How'd you get to Phoenix? Are you from Phoenix?
No. So I was born in California. I was raised in Indio, California. It's on the way to LA.
Okay.
You know, it's Coachella Fest.
Yeah.
That's the backyard.
Okay.
It's that whole area. So yeah, I was born out there. And then, I was homeschooled.
Okay.
So I just graduated at the Sneed High School.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
What was that like being homeschooled?
It was alright. I still had friends and shit, so thankfully I didn't end up super weird. I definitely should have ended up more weird than I am.
Were you into stuff sports or
Yeah. Yeah, I would meet up with friends and still played basketball and shit.
Okay.
Football, all that. I had friends through church and through the neighborhood and things like that. So,
okay.
So yeah, it was I don't really know any different, you know, so I don't really know what I missed out on other than everyone else talking about school, but at the end of the day it's still just school to me, you know.
That's interesting, man.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I've met anyone who is homeschooled.
Yeah.
At least not I mean, you're homeschooled fully from
Yeah, I've never set foot
from
inside of
18?
inside of a public school.
Yeah, that's wild. I mean, I know people who switch to homeschooling in high school or whatever, but never just fully homeschooled.
Yeah, it is weird.
Yeah, man, you're way more normal than I would expect.
Yeah, it was a setup. I should have turned out like a fucking real quack, but
that's funny. Have you ever talked about
I
that
think I'm doing
stage?
okay.
Is that mic okay? Do you need me
it's
to
falling. It's getting a little limp on me, but
I tighten it.
I'm trying to keep it up. I don't know. I think it's just too heavy.
I can come over there and tighten it. Hold on.
I think I'm tightening it.
Sorry, dude. Setting you up for failure.
Oh, that's good.
And then let's go like that.
Yeah, maybe it's the way I have it positioned, huh?
Jump, hit it with your beer. And you're good today.
There we go. Okay, I get it now. It's the positioning of the arm.
Sorry, dude. I set you up for failure.
No, it's good. I should have known. I should have, know how these things work.
Set you up for failure on the fucking microphone. The first podcast I did with Devontae, he fucking ripped the whole arm off the table. He was trying to adjust it, and it wasn't super clamped down to the table and just fucking ripped off. He's like, "What do I do?" He's holding it up.
It's just holding a little robot arm.
Holy shit, man!
Shout out to Devontae. He sounds like he was the worst podcast guest ever.
Oh man, he was a lot of fun, dude. Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing some more with Devontae for sure.
Yeah, he's been out here. He's been working.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's nice to be able to see everyone again, honestly, like in a normal capacity.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of people came back to comedy. I mean, last year a lot sooner than I did.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's why I wanted to ask you, like, how has it been for you since you've been back? Like, I've definitely been seeing out, like, a lot more.
Yeah, I mean,
the scene.
Honestly, it feels the same. It feels fucking... I mean, I have several thoughts on it. It's interesting how... Arizona, I mean, we don't care about COVID anymore.
Right,
Going
yeah.
to crowded bars, I mean... I was very hesitant. I did get COVID last year. I got it over Christmas.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. When I was telling you I was hanging out with my wife's family, we all got COVID.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a bomb there or something.
We drove home Christmas Day with COVID.
Shit.
My mother-in-law woke up feeling shitty Christmas morning. And she had like a little tickle in her throat, like Christmas Eve type of thing.
No.
And she's like, I feel really shitty. And I was like, I'm sorry, we're leaving. And she's like, what? Like, you don't have to like freak out about it. Like, and I was like, no, like this, like everything.
You just had a feeling, you think?
Everything in my body says this is like, we should not be around you right now.
Yeah.
Like, and I even said like any other year, any other like time, I'd be like, oh, that's unfortunate. Hope you feel better. But I was like in the peak of the pandemic. I was like, we have to go. I was like, and then we drove home, and in that night, I mean, I was starting to feel really shitty. And the next day, I was like full blown sick. Next day after that, 2 days like after being exposed, like full fever, body aches.
Damn.
Like, I mean, it was the worst illness I ever had in my entire life.
Yeah, and everyone who was there got it pretty much.
Yeah,
Shit.
And we all had different symptoms. My father-in-law had no symptoms at all. Felt fine the whole time. Tested positive for 2 weeks.
Oh, but he didn't have any symptoms?
Nothing.
Huh.
Yeah. We all had entirely different symptoms.
Damn.
My cousin-in-law, whatever, had like a really bad cough. Like, extremely bad.
Yeah.
I had no lung issues, even though I'm a smoker.
Yeah.
So, like, that was fascinating.
Your breathing
to
was
me.
fine?
Yeah. Totally
Energy?
fine.
You had fine energy?
Energy, I was shot.
Okay.
I mean, I was full flu symptoms, but I didn't have like a cough and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is just fascinating. Now I'm going on a tangent about COVID. But the long way of saying, like, after that, I mean, I tried to take COVID, like, more seriously than I was.
Right, yeah.
Because, like, for me, it was like, for me, it was like, I get it now. I was like, I fully understand.
Yeah, you're like, this shit sucks.
Yeah. So I was like super cautious, and I just told myself, like, I was like, I'll just wait to do comedy again until I get vaccinated.
Yeah.
And then, so that's when I got vaccinated, and I was back doing open mics like a week later.
Yeah. Yeah, but who says you're safe? I mean, look at Chris Paul.
Right. Right.
I mean,
but I do feel more safe,
Vaccination probably fine.
But after I had COVID, I was probably fine to go out and do open mics. Like, I had antibodies or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering too.
But I just wanted to be more conscientious of, like,
yeah,
not going out in January and like,
like
being, I don't know. It's just one of those weird things, man. It was such a weird thing to navigate,
Yeah. Well, you got it and you got vaccinated, so now you're like double protected.
That's how I feel.
You're double, double bagging it.
But coming back to comedy, like, I was almost done with my first year before COVID ended. So I kind of feel like I'm finishing my first year of comedy now.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So,
yeah, I get what you mean.
So that's really challenging because it's like, my like 2-year anniversary is coming up, but really it's like
like
a year doing comedy.
A whole hiatus, yeah.
And so that's something
Forced
I've been
hiatus.
kind of dealing with in my head of like, I'm not 2 years in, I'm a year in. Like,
right.
I don't have 2 years of experience. I have a year of experience.
Yeah. I mean, unless you kept working, during like if you're still writing or, like if you're doing some Zoom shows or whatever, like if you're trying kind of, I would say that's still considered, something.
I did like 3 Zoom shows, maybe 4 Zoom shows.
Yeah.
And it just
I know they're rough, yeah.
It wasn't the same. It didn't feel right,
Yeah.
So I gave it a shot.
Yeah. Hey, that's something, no one else was doing that.
But I'm like always writing in some capacity. Like, I mean, I got a screenwriting degree. Like, I've been working on like a new script and stuff. So it's like I do write in some capacity. It's not always comedy, but I mean, COVID, I definitely wasn't focused on comedy, you know? It's like...
Right.
I mean, and like a lot of people, I was definitely depressed for a few months, just like fucking stuck at home, fucking like dealing with shit. Like, I didn't feel funny, like, you know?
Yeah, everyone had that like bottom of the barrel moment during during COVID.
And I wasn't experiencing things to write jokes about. Like,
yeah.
You know? So
but it sounds like you channeled the like towards just other things creatively, you know? You started streaming and writing other stuff, you know?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, if I'm not doing comedy, I'm always going to be doing something creative, you know? That's my passion 100% of the time. That's what I want to do. I want to fucking make money creatively, you know? Yeah. But fucking...
Like, you don't really care, like, you don't have, like, a specific... Like, you just want to get paid to create? Like, you don't want to... It doesn't have to be, like, screenwriting or comedy or fucking
for me,
whatever.
I feel like I want it to be all of them.
Yeah.
You know? I've written 8 movies.
Damn.
So it's not like I'm struggling to like write a screenplay, you know, or like anything. It's like I feel like one day I will sell one, you know, or hopefully all of them.
Have you tried selling them?
Yeah, I mean, it's just
I don't know how that works,
it's such a hard road to navigate. Like, it's such a sending out emails, like, you know, trying to like get noticed, entering contests. Like,
oh, really? Is that how it works?
Yeah, I mean,
dang.
If you win a big screenwriting contest, I mean, that's the easiest way to sell your script.
To get in, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Because I feel like I've always heard, well, I don't know. I feel like a lot of times I hear about people who like just go to LA and then they just start by like selling screenplays or whatever, you know, like and then next thing you know, they're like become more of a regular writer for like, you know, directors or whatever, and the next thing you know, they're like in the business. Right. But they make it sound like you can just go there and hop in and like, you know, peddle fucking your writing, you know?
Right.
But I don't know if it works that way.
I feel like we always hear the stories of like how people succeeded, but it's like we never hear like but I was struggling for 10 years before that. Like,
right,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, I sold a script and then got this writing job. But it's like, but I was a waiter for 10 years. Like,
yeah.
Chilling, trying to like get meetings with people.
Just skip the boring part, I guess, huh?
Yeah. Right? But yeah, dude, to fucking not be so high about it and to answer your question, coming back to comedy has been the shit. It's been a really like humbling experience in the sense of like I know I'm finishing my first year and I know I have a lot of work to do and I know I have a long way to go and I know you know, like the path is not easy in comedy in any capacity.
Yeah. Oh, it's a grind.
Yeah. And also I just feel like I appreciate it more now.
Yeah.
Cause it's like, I mean, before COVID, there was 3 or 4 mics a night.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I wasn't super invested into it. I mean, it was like, I was getting more invested into it, but my first few months, it was just like, you know,
You're just trying to figure it out. Yeah.
I was hitting 1 mic a week and shit like that. And then I started going to 3 or 4 a week and 4 or 5 a week. You know what I mean? And I was finally getting invested and then it all stopped. And coming back, I feel more like it, like talking to people about it. I feel more like I'm a sophomore now.
Yeah.
Like I feel like people remember me. Like, people recognize me.
You're like known around the scene. Yeah.
I'm not like one of the open micers that's brand new anymore that people kind of are dismissing. Like, hey man, we'll see if you're here in 6 months type of thing.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Which is a nice feeling that I didn't have before COVID, really.
Yeah.
Which is just, I mean, comes with time. I feel like for everyone.
Pretty much. Yeah, just like kind of the natural progression of things, you know.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, I feel like the biggest way I could sum it up of like, it's really nice to feel like I'm progressing in that capacity, but also just every time I get on stage, I appreciate it so much more than I did.
Right. Yeah. I never thought of it that way, but it definitely like makes you appreciate, you know, like stage time, you know, like it used to be so easy and now you can tell like everybody's hungry, but there's just such limited like stage time just because things are just getting to start back up, you know. We don't have 3 mics a day like we used to.
Right. But, or like open mics at the Improv anymore, or You know, like some of the other opportunities to like get stage time aren't there anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting, but they'll come back. You know.
Yeah. It's all a matter of time.
Yeah.
As long as nothing crazy happens.
Yeah. How's it been for you, man? I mean, how's it? You got back out there. I mean, earlier last year. And shit. Yeah,
I was going crazy when like things were like shut down. Like fuck, it was a whole like curfew and everything. Like man, it was like rough for a second. Mm-hmm. So pretty much as soon as there, like, I just want stage time wherever it's at. So as soon as there was an open mic, I was out there. So yeah, I was even doing the Zoom mics too, even though they were rough. I still was just like, it keeps me writing, you know.
Yeah.
And if I write something, then I want to try it, and it kind of helps me like keep going. You know what I mean? So
yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I just tried to. It was rough, but I tried to just get up where I could and try jokes out and not go crazy. You know?
Yeah.
But thankfully, I was busy working. You know, so I still had my day job, and then just went home and tried to write and keep busy being creative. You know?
Yeah. What do you do for a day job, if you don't mind me asking? You absolutely don't have to say.
No, it doesn't matter. I'm a hitman, you know, but no, I'm in construction plumbing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I think you told me that before.
Yeah, it's cool. It's pays the bills.
Yeah.
It's whatever. It's rough.
Yeah, that's how I feel about my job, dude.
Yeah.
It's purely a job. I mean, I'm good at it, but it's like I feel like it pays my bills.
Yeah.
It gives me the life I can afford.
Yeah, exactly.
That I want.
Let's live pretty cozy, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Live a cozy life.
Yeah, but I want to do creative shit 100% all the time.
Yeah. That's my thing too. Is like I say that there's only two things in the world that I care about, and that's money and laughter.
Yeah.
So if I can combine them to where I'm making money off of making people laugh, that's my dream. Dog.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. Have you started a podcast or anything?
I used to have a podcast
Okay.
when I I think it was in my first year, a little bit after my first year with one of the other comics that started with me. He's not around anymore, but his name was Sam Villa. Some people might remember him. But we had a podcast
He's not
together.
around anymore, like he just doesn't do comedy?
Or yeah, I don't know. I did the podcast with him, and then like it just kind of like fell apart. It was called Crash Dummies.
Okay, yeah, I heard of
it. Yeah. It was a lot of fun. It was good. Like I heard nothing but good things about it, and I could tell that me and Sam like gelled together really well, and we could have gone far with it, I think, but it just fell apart. He was like in college and stuff, and he was just kind of a fidgety person who didn't really focus on things.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he was always hopping between projects and shit. So yeah, that it fell apart, and then COVID happened, and then I like tried to hit him up a little bit later, you know, just to check in on him, say what's up. But he was always like the kind of person, like he doesn't have social media or anything. Like he's like very like he's like a flip phone kind of guy, you know what I mean? So his number had changed, and I had no way of getting a hold of him. So I really don't know where he's at right now. I just like to think, you know, he's out in Mexico somewhere.
Interesting. Okay.
But you know, shout out to Sam V. I'm sure he's all right. He's a smart kid.
That's pretty legit, though.
But yeah, that was it was a lot of fun doing that podcast. That was cool. It was a good time. And since then, I've hopped on the Comedy Advice podcast.
Okay.
With Stefan Satani. I've worked with him doing some things. We did a live podcast once. That was fun. But other than that, it's just I'm mostly just doing open mics and shows and stuff.
Yeah, that's fair. Sorry, fucking with this camera. And for everyone listening out there, we're watching the Suns game on my other monitor here. So, gonna be a little distracted for
you got a live
at least another 30 minutes or so.
Yeah, and I'm actually, because I'm from California, so I'm actually a Lakers fan.
Yeah.
So to see
I know.
the Suns and the Clippers in the Western Conference Finals, I wouldn't be mad if the Clippers beat the Suns.
Yeah, dude, I bet.
But, you know, it's whatever.
The Suns are looking good right now.
Did you ever do you ever play any sports? Are you much of a sports person?
Yeah, I played them all, yeah. Growing up, I played everything: soccer, baseball, basketball, football.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up a sports kid for sure. Baseball was my go-to. I mean, if I had to pick one sport to play, baseball was my shit.
You're good at it, huh?
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah, I mean, I was super into baseball. Like 12, 13, that was like my prime. I felt like, like I was on, minor league, and then I was on traveling league after. So it's like I played at one point like 18 months of like straight baseball.
Damn, yeah.
And I mean,
you're
it was
just going
just
in,
so
huh?
fun. Yeah, we were going to tournaments in Vegas, like traveling league tournaments and stuff. Like,
And that was it. You were 13?
yeah,
Yeah.
And then just getting older, maturing more, started smoking weed and stuff. I just kind of got out of sports and got into other shit. And then, I just stopped playing sports altogether in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't even play in high school?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
No.
So you, like, really did just, like, peak at 13?
Yeah.
Like, and then after that, you started smoking weed, and it was all downhill after that, huh?
Absolutely, yeah. I started smoking weed in 7th grade.
Oh, shit.
Stopped playing sports in, like, 9th grade. And
Became a fucking rebel or what?
Yeah, I mean, just got into video games, got into other shit. Like, got into chicks,
Yeah.
Just got out of it. But I mean, I love sports. I mean, I had Cardinal season tickets for a number of years.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah.
Dang.
I love
during
going
the
to
rough years, huh?
games. Yeah. And some of the good ones.
Yeah.
I mean, when we won the NFC Championship to go to the Super Bowl, I was there.
Oh, you were there?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
So that was, I mean, the most amazing feeling as a AZ sports fan, driving out of the stadium and everyone was honking and cheering, hanging out their windows. People who live near the stadium were all lining the fucking street on the sidewalks,
Cheering.
just waving flags. I mean, it was unreal, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, always. I mean, I'll be into sports forever. I mean, like being like in baseball was always my dream. Like in college, I always thought about like maybe I should just go try out like for a fucking minor league. Something. Yeah, I mean, even like I played men's softball up in Flagstaff.
Yeah.
And I was always super against it. I was like, I don't want to play softball. And then once I got into it, I was like, dude, this is just as fun as playing baseball, man.
Yeah.
And I would love to play softball again.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You liked it better than baseball?
No, I was just, as an adult, I mean, it's just fun
yeah.
playing on a men's softball team, you know?
Yeah,
when you can't play baseball.
Yeah, I got you.
We had a kickball league in college. And I was like captain of a kickball team and shit. Like, I love.
You play like all versions of baseball.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I love competitive. Really, anything. Like, if you like
competitive based sports.
Yeah, if you're like, hey, you want to play this card game and like bet $5, I'd be like, all right, dude, let's fucking play.
Dude, that's tight. I'm the same way.
Yeah,
I'm very competitive.
Yeah,
It's hard sometimes. I just really, I really love winning. And I also really, really hate losing.
I'm with you there, man.
So it's like, and I just don't get why you wouldn't try to win. You know,
play to win.
Yeah, like what's?
Yeah, I'm the type of guy who's like, wait, I don't understand playing for fun.
Yeah,
like,
you don't like winning. I don't understand what's going on here.
Yeah, I struggle with that a lot, dude. Like people are like, dude, we're just trying to have fun here, and I'm like, well, I mean, you might be.
You have fun being a loser.
Like,
That doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't compute.
Dude. Yeah, like playing Call of Duty Warzone, like it's a battle royale where you're trying to be the last person alive.
Yeah.
And like, some people are like, oh, dude, I got 6 kills in a game. Like, that's a good game. I'm like, not if you didn't win, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
were you the last man standing or not?
Yeah, I'm like, the object of the game is win, not get 6 kills, bro. Like, fuck.
Yeah. Are you like a rage gamer? Like, do you get angry?
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
Because you're competitive? You
Absolutely.
Know what I mean?
Yeah. But in the sense of like, I just want to win.
Yeah. But you never
I've never smashed a controller.
Yeah.
I've never broken a screen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I've never been. I mean, I respect my equipment,
Yeah.
I spent good money.
Yeah, you would think, but I've had plenty of friends who don't respect their equipment or anyone else's. It's just if they black out, and next thing you know, they have to buy a new screen.
I've never been that guy. I feel like I always just lived in the fear of my mom beating my ass,
Right, yeah. Yeah, that'll do it, yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm always fucking like I'm always down to do like anything competitive. Like I remember playing mini golf one time, and like my mom was like, "You need to like fucking tone it down, dude."
You're scaring your nieces.
I was like, "I'm sorry, I'm just trying to fucking get in one shot, you know, like fucking."
This fucking fake ass alligator's pissing me off. God damn it! He keeps closing his mouth.
That Billy Madison scene where he's all, or Happy Gilmore scene where he's all fucking angry at the mini golf course. That's me for sure. Like, this motherfucker.
Yeah, just tear up the whole thing. Yeah. I feel like I've gotten better at it. Like I learn to kind of tone it down when I'm around people who I just know aren't like I've learned to only get into it if I can see someone else is into it, you know?
Yeah.
Because it only really means something to me if you want to win. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it means even more to beat someone who wants to win, right? So it's like,
absolutely.
If I notice someone's being competitive about it, I'm like, all right, we got a game here.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, that's how I am just in nature. Like at Josh Harrison's Monday Night Mike.
Yeah, he's been killing that. That's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. Like Jacoby is always playing chess there.
Oh yeah.
And so like the first time I met Jacoby, he was like, "Hey, you can't sign up on the list unless you're gonna play chess." And I was like, "All right, man, I'll play chess with you." I was like, "What?"
You have to make up these weird rules, man. Just ask me to play chess with you.
I was like, all right, put my name on the list. And I walked over. I was like, what's going on, man? He's like, you want to play? I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he beat me, and he was talking so much shit. I mean, just like mad shit. Like, oh, this will be over quick. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Like, you know, saying
he's
shit
a
like
talker.
that. Yeah. And like, it just motivated me. I was like, I'm going to beat your ass at this game, dude.
Yeah.
And he beat me the first game, and then I was like, hey, I'm gonna go inside and watch the mic and do my set, and then I'll come back and play
run
you
it back,
again.
huh? Yeah.
And he's like, all right, for sure. And I played him again, and then I beat him.
Oh hell yeah!
And he was still talking so much shit. He's like, oh, it'll be over quick. Don't worry. Like second time, like, you know.
Yeah.
And I beat him, and he was like, damn, you know, pretty good job, man. Like you got me.
He wasn't saying much then, huh?
And then. Naturally, he like needed to beat me a couple more times, I think, to get it across.
You guys kept playing.
Yeah. And I was like, he's into chess, and that made me like sit down and be like, all right, dude, I'll be into chess with you right now. Like, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, he told me I was the only the second comedian to ever beat him at chess. So.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I felt really good about it.
Yeah,
there. I was like, all right, dude. I was like, fucking A, bro. I was like, so you take chess pretty seriously, man.
Yeah. I always see him playing people.
And he's like, oh, yeah, I've played against grandmasters and, like, all sorts. I was like, oh, you take it very seriously. Yeah. Like, holy shit.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he keeps a little to-go chess set with him.
But that type of shit, like,
very serious.
Seeing people like that, like, into something like that makes me, like, get more into it. Because I'm like, cool, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, feed off your energy on this chess set.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go there with you.
Yeah, and I'm a big chess dork too, dude. I was in chess club as a kid and shit.
So, oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. I love chess. It's just such a mind game.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not that great at it. Like, I just play on my phone, and even then, I only play the computer because I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I sometimes I'm afraid. Like, I have a big fear of. It's the same way I don't gamble because like, there's just a part of me that is unsure that I know really how to play the game, you know, like the same with like poker. I wouldn't put money on it. Like I'm just so I don't want to get into it unless I feel like I know what I'm doing and I have a decent chance of winning.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
That's fair.
So I'm still like,
you like knowing the odds and shit.
Yeah.
I love gambling too. I have a very very addictive personality.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, I'm very aware.
How'd you learn that?
How'd I learn that?
Yeah, like what was your first like?
I just think I'm very self-aware. But
like your whole life, whenever you like got into something, you like
I dive
were addicted to it. Yeah.
I mean, I'm very obsessive just in general. Like if there's a problem or like, you know, if you're like, hey, I'm having trouble with this, like I'll think about it all day. Like,
oh,
you know
right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
problem solver.
Yeah. So like I've just always been like that, and so like I have to be very aware of like I could sit down at like a roulette table for 8 hours.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
And what problem would you be solving?
It's just like the addiction.
Your gambling problem?
The addiction of potentially winning. Like, it's just like,
Right.
it's overcoming. It's the same way I feel about video games. Like, it's the reason I can't play like huge games like World of Warcraft and stuff anymore. I just get so sucked into them. It like,
Oh yeah, you just like it
overwhelms me, man.
You really do get enveloped. Like,
yeah.
is it
Then I think about it
just
all
the
day.
idea of winning, or like it's just like the task?
Yeah, both.
Like it's just the whole thing. I'm sure. Yeah,
just
that's
like
why
the
all these things
achievement
are.
aspect, like just But I get that way with everything. I mean, I get that way with podcasting. I get that way with comedy. Like, it's just.
No, yeah, that's good. I mean, as long as you know how to channel it, you can like do a lot of great things. Obviously, you got this all. You figured it out,
Yeah.
And now you're rolling.
Yeah, and it's like the type of shit I got really obsessed with podcasting and equipment for 2 months.
Yeah.
And then I got it all and set it up, and like I was able to like let it go, like I accomplished the task.
Yeah, like you did it, like you knew what you were doing, and you're
yeah,
mission accomplished.
Yeah, dude.
Know how to podcast.
Just the strangest fucking thing, man.
Yeah, I wish I was like that.
Where we got started on the. Oh, you mentioned gambling.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know I could never live in Vegas. I know.
Yeah. Man, I'm pretty bad about it too. It's one of those things that it's the same thing. Like I just kind of try to avoid it because I know like I would it's hard to. Yeah, I guess it's just the idea of winning, to turn down like any chance like to make something more exciting. I was betting on the Lakers game just because it's like it's my fucking it's the Lakers. Why not?
Yeah.
And also saying not betting on them means that I don't have faith in them, right? So it's like, well, I got to do it now.
Yeah. Dude,
but yeah, it's the same at casinos and everything. Even the slot machines I like.
Yep.
But
when FanDuel opens up sports betting in Arizona, like we just passed sports betting, you know, this year. When that opens, I'm in trouble for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be betting on every UFC fight
that
I watch, and I'll definitely have to I don't know if there's shit in that app where you can limit how much you can bet. I'm sure there's some kind of cap. Like, hey, you hit $200 this month, dude. You gotta knock it off. I'm gonna have to set that and shit for sure. Yeah.
So it's like very easy for you to just go like without even thinking about it. Like if you're sitting at a casino, then you're just like you just zone out for hours. The next thing you know.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. I took my wife playing roulette one time, and I mean we sat at the roulette table for like 4 hours. And she's like, "What time is it?" I was like, 2:30 in the morning. And she's like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, we've been sitting here for like 4 hours, almost 4.5 hours." She's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's fun, right?" Like,
yeah. I mean, yeah, she must have been into it too, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we were doing good. We were winning. My wife's a blast, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting her into stuff like that she's never done before. She's just like, "Oh, this is great."
Yeah. And that was her first time. Like that was in Vegas.
Yeah. We went to Vegas we've gone to Vegas together a couple times. But we went for my 27th birthday and to see Blink-182 a couple years ago.
Oh, cool.
They're doing their Vegas residency.
Oh, they have a residency out there?
They did just that year.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, I would really like to go. I was like, this is like historic shit. Like Blink-182 has a residency in Vegas. And it was cool. It was like just them. They didn't have like an opener or anything.
It was just them doing their thing.
Came out and played for like an hour and 45
all the
minutes.
Hits.
Yeah. It was pretty rad.
All the small things.
I love Blink-182, dude. I grew up, that was my jam as a kid. Pop punk.
Yeah.
Metal music.
Like Good Charlotte. Did you ever listen to Good Charlotte?
Oh, yeah. I love Good Charlotte, man. I still listen to Good Charlotte. I still listen to all that shit I listened to as a teenager.
Green Day.
Green Day, yep. Owned every Green Day album.
Yeah. AFI. Did you ever listen to AFI?
Yep.
Okay, cool. You're like the first person I met in a long time that remembers AFI.
Yeah. I listen to AFI.
It was like a weird phase of my life where I was into AFI.
Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, I'm still like My Chemical Romance just started touring before COVID. Like,
oh, really?
Shut it down.
And I know they're still out here.
Well, they broke up, and then they like got back together. They've been broke up for like 10 years.
Yeah.
So I was
and they had just gotten back together.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go on. They were touring and everything.
They played like 2 shows before COVID, and I wanted to go. Me and my buddy talked about going. They played 1 show in LA. Tickets were like $200 though. And I was like, I was like, that's like a fucking music festival ticket. Like,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
I was like, I can wait for them to come to Phoenix, and I'll pay $50 to see them.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
But
Yeah. Damn, that's a lot just for one show.
yeah, I mean, it was like, hey, it's a reunion show, and it was.
Yeah.
I mean, it was sold out in 10 minutes. So
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if you have the following, you can go far with it.
yeah, dude. Yeah, I love fucking all that emo shit, emo music as a kid, pop punk music. I still love it today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like mainly what you listen to. You just jamming out to fucking
Yeah. I mean, I don't listen to a whole lot of music all the time anymore, but yeah, on a road trip and stuff, I'll throw on a pop punk playlist for sure.
You only listen you only listen to music like on road trips? Like you're not a music guy? You don't
Like, not like a whole lot anymore. Like, in my car is the main time I listen to music for sure.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, now I work 8 to 5, can't really listen to music a whole lot during the day.
Oh, you can't listen to music while working?
Well,
or you're on the phone or
sometimes I'll throw on music, but a lot of time I'll just throw on a podcast now.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I just got super into podcasts.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I started listening to Joe Rogan like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And that became like my go-to during work. I worked at NAU in an office, and I just sit there and listen to Joe Rogan. Like, that was when he was live.
Oh, okay.
So, like, I'd have it, like, I'd be like, yeah, at 1 o'clock, like, Joe Rogan will be on. Like, throw it on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, and watch. Yeah.
Listen to it.
Damn, so you're like a hardcore follower, huh?
Yeah, I was always super into it. And then now there's just so many fucking podcasts to listen to.
Yeah. Yeah, it gets to be a lot sometimes. Like sometimes I kind of fluctuate. Like sometimes I'll be in like a mood where I want to hear conversation or like, you know, people talking shit or something that'll make me laugh.
Yeah.
But a lot of times I kind of just want to like zone out and listen to music, you know?
Yeah.
Especially like when I'm working, it's hard to pay attention anyway. So it's like, I'll just jam out. Helps the time pass.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, when I want to like get a task done, I'll listen to music. But I grew up listening to like a lot of oldies with my dad, and oldies like Tom Petty, like fucking Bob Seger, Bob Dylan and shit.
Yeah, I listen to all that too.
And I'll still like throw on that like classic rock station, listen to that shit. Like, still sing every word, you know.
Eagles.
Listen to Aerosmith, the Eagles. And then my brother was really into, my older brother was really into like heavy metal growing up, so big into Metallica, Slipknot.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I got super into those. Like, I've been to a Slipknot concert with my brother.
Really?
Yeah, I went to a huge Metallica concert in San Francisco a couple years ago.
Damn, I bet that was lit.
It was amazing. And I was like up front by the stage, so I caught a pick at the end of the show when they were throwing picks.
Oh, really?
In the crowd.
Yeah.
So I have a Metallica pick in my room.
What? That's cool.
Yeah. So I mean, big fan of all different kinds of music.
Yeah. Yeah, you have a range.
Yeah.
My Chemical Romance to Metallica.
Oh, yeah, dude. I'll throw on some other shit, too.
Have you been to any shows, like concerts or anything, since stuff has started popping back up?
Not post-COVID, no. The last concert I went to was Dashboard Confessional last year.
Oh, okay.
At the Van Buren. But there's more coming, and I would love to go see some. It's like, for me, it's like I'm getting so much older that I'm like, it has to be like a band I like want to fucking see.
Yeah.
Like, if you're like, oh, you want to go see this band on Friday night that you never heard of? Yeah, probably not, man.
Sounds like a lot, honestly.
I'm like, yeah, we could like fucking smoke a blunt and put on their Spotify or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
What about you, man? I mean, what did you grow up listening to? And do you have like siblings or anything? I feel like we just glossed over your homeschooling weirdo.
Yeah, we just skip that. Yeah. I listen to everything, pretty much everything. I listen to a lot of oldies music, rap.
You want to know?
I like Metallica. Yeah, sure. I'll chug this one. And then I'm in a family of 6. So I'm the oldest of 4. I have a younger brother who's a couple years younger than me, a sister who's 21, and then I have a baby sister who's like five right now.
Oh wow.
6, yeah. So my parents had like a late one.
Are they still homeschooling?
What's that?
And are they still homeschooling?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
And what do your parents do? Well, wait, did you say that already?
No, my dad, he's had his own business for a while, doing leak detection.
Okay.
Out in California with the preppy Palm Springs people, you know.
That's cool.
So yeah, it just finds leaks in pools, and it's like he's been providing for, you know, a family our whole life doing that. So
that's pretty legit.
It's been good, yeah. And it's kind of one of those things, you know, like when you grow up seeing that, it kind of lays out the groundwork for you that it's like that you can still like make money and like provide for a family without having to like go to college or whatever. Like it's just like at the end of the day, we're all trying to make money, you know. And there's very different ways to get there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it kind of was like, it kind of took away that like pressure to like really pursue education, you know.
So
I think, you know, things could have been different, but it's also like, I also know I'm a hard worker, and either way I'll end up paying the bills, you know.
Yeah. What did you graduate high school like early? Like did you graduate when you were like 16 because you were homeschooled, or did you?
Yeah,
like,
pretty much like 16,
okay.
17. It was just like it was a GED thing though.
Okay.
But it was like, yeah, it was like,
I got a GED
why fucking, you know, drag it out, you know?
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah. And that's the cool thing, you know, it's like you can kind of just like, you're at home most of the time, like it's kind of nice, you know, like especially, you know, like I mean, people through COVID, you know, I'm sure the parents hate it, but kids, you know, for a while, I'm sure they kind of liked having that break, being able to just like do homework and then play video games, you know, in between, and it's a different vibe for sure.
Yeah. What was your parents' reasoning for homeschooling? Do you know? You ever talk to them about it?
Not really. I don't know. I think it's just kind of I don't know, like I don't know really. That's a good question.
Yeah.
I never asked them. I just kind of, like I said, it's just all I've known, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't really think about it. It's just like, all right, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, it's just normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think, I don't know, they probably just don't trust all these fucking hood rat kids.
That's fair.
In these public schools, you know?
Okay. That's fair.
All these public hood rat kids, you know?
Have you ever talked about being homeschooled on stage?
No.
Oh, you got to.
Not really. I don't really talk about it much. Like this is pretty much the first time really like just saying it, you know?
You got to, man. You got to come up with a couple like...
I know, that's what I'm wondering, but it's like, it's definitely
like
one of those things that I've kind of, I've struggled like finding the funny. It's just kind of been like, what do I say, you know? Like
yeah. I think a lot of people will find it interesting immediately when you bring it up. So I think it'll be one of those things that like hooks them in.
Yeah.
So you could kind of like go wherever you wanted with it.
Yeah, just finding the,
Yeah. Dude, let me have one of those little Star Wars coasters over here. Those are pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, these are sick.
I got those at a swap meet in
no way.
In California.
Damn, these are legit.
Some lady makes them.
Shout out, guys.
And you were never like interested in going to college or anything?
No, not really, because I mean, it was like an idea, but I didn't have like an idea of what I wanted to do, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like a lot of people just kind of jump into college because it's like just what you're supposed to do, but so many people I know just pick something because they, you know, they just don't know what else, and then they end up, you know, fucking managing a Denny's.
Yeah.
But it's like, so yeah, I just didn't really know what I wanted to do, and it wasn't pushed on me, so I just ended up just getting straight to work and making money instead.
Yeah, that's fair.
But more recently I've thought about like I don't know, kind of on a smaller level, like going to community college or something, just to like pick up things, you know. Like I feel like I've heard that you can learn how to sing by like joining a choir, you know, like they have choir at community college.
For sure.
And I didn't know that was a thing. I think that would be cool.
Community college here is actually one of the biggest ones in the entire country.
Oh shit, really?
Mm-hmm.
In the country?
Yeah.
like the big, like out of all community colleges, it's
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Do they have choir?
Maricopa Community College. Maybe we could Google it. I'm my own young Jamie.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, see, there's like more recently I've been thinking like maybe I can take advantage of these things and like learn the things that I want to learn now that I kind of know what I want to do. Like I want to get into the entertainment industry, so I want to like learn how to sing and like maybe join some sort of theater thing.
That'd be
and,
cool. You like singing and
get
shit?
into acting.
You like acting?
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
cool.
just try to like learn how to be more talented, than I already am.
Have you ever been to like plays and stuff?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no, I guess I've never been to like a play. I've been to like a dancing like play thing, but there wasn't like acting. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It was like an interpretive dance play kind of thing.
Would you be interested in doing that? Like going to a play?
Oh
I
yeah,
love
for sure.
going to plays.
Yeah, I would love that. Yeah.
We should go to one sometime, man.
Have you been to ones out here?
One.
Like theater.
Just
where do they
one.
have stuff? Yeah.
Yeah, there's a handful of theaters down here. There's actually one in the Scottsdale Mall.
Oh shit.
Pretty cool theater in there. I've been meaning to go to a show there, but the one I went to was like downtown Phoenix, like a performing arts center. We went to Elf the musical.
Okay. How was that?
My wife and I. It was great.
That was the one in Scottsdale?
No, that was like at downtown Phoenix, like at a performing arts center.
Oh, okay.
But the one in Scottsdale is nice. It's like a smaller theater. I just stopped by literally a couple weekends ago because we were in the Scottsdale Mall and there was a theater in there. I was like, babe, I'm going to go in. She was like, okay. I just went in and talked to the lady. I was like, you guys put on like plays and stuff here? She's like, well, we're starting to again.
Oh, shit.
She's like, obviously we weren't for, 7 or 8 months because of COVID, but.
Damn, we should go. Did she tell you like what shows they have coming up or anything?
Yeah, she gave me a flyer. They had 2 scheduled, but she's like, we'll have a lot more coming this fall. And I was like, oh, cool. Check it out this fall.
Yeah. Dude, anytime you want to go, let me know. I've been wanting to like support theater stuff more and go to. I've never been to
cool,
a play really. Like, I would love to do that.
Oh man, now that I think about it, we have gone to a handful of plays here, just not the plays I'm thinking of. We saw Hamilton at ASU.
Oh, okay.
We saw.
That's like a play. That's like a whole thing,
huge,
isn't it?
yeah, Broadway show. You'd probably
forget that one.
Probably enjoy that, man. That was a lot of fun. And then we went to
I want to
see.
do shit like that.
What's the Wizard of Oz one? That Wicked.
Oh yeah.
We went and saw
it's
Wicked
like a modern,
there too.
or that's where they're all black or something.
No, it's just about the Wicked Witch.
Oh.
It's just a show about her. It's a musical.
Oh, Oz. That's the one where they're all black.
I've always liked.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think. I don't know. I've never seen it. Don't quote me, man.
No, you're the one that said that.
It's the day after.
Google it, Jamie.
The day after Juneteenth, dude.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, how did you celebrate?
Don't get me in trouble. I mean, just by tweeting racist stuff to my friends. No, I'm just kidding. I've always been super into musicals and stuff, though.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, as a film person, I've always just been a big fan of everything.
Yeah.
Like, theater-wise, like
right,
film-wise.
the arts, the perform.
Yeah, absolutely. So, going
to
musical
theater,
and
I guess,
stuff,
huh?
yeah. I've always been... I would love to, like, do something like that, but I feel like I don't have the free time. Like, I would definitely act in a play.
Yeah.
But it's a huge commitment.
Yeah, I know. It's a whole... Yeah, you're, like, have to go to all the practices and shit, right? Like, it's, like, probably an everyday thing, Like anything else, it's, like, if you want to do it, you got to commit.
Oh, and Maricopa does have, like, an associate's degree in musical theater.
See, that's what I'm saying. I want to take all of those, dude. I want to there's the triple threat, right?
Yeah.
Is dance, act,
and sing. Yeah.
And I'm already funny, so I could have 4.
There you go.
And who says you can't just go to learn that shit,
And how old are you?
26.
You could, and I don't know what your income level is, but arguably you could take these classes for free.
Oh shit.
Because you could qualify for a Pell Grant.
Oh yeah.
Which is just federal funding.
That's a new thing?
Nope.
No? Okay.
Nope.
Wow.
So my career path is higher ed. So I've worked in higher ed since 2009. I'm a higher education marketing consultant. So I've worked in financial aid offices. I worked in the communications office at NAU, and I was the communications administrator at ASU. I worked in the registrar's office at ASU. So I know a lot about like the front end, back end, all of higher ed and how it works, and funding and financial aid and all. So
the whole system, how to work the system.
Any questions you have?
Holy
man,
shit! Yeah, that changes everything. I'm so glad I told you that. I think this makes it like way more feasible now.
Yeah. So really, what you could do is you would do what's called a FAFSA and get federal funding for college, and see what you qualify for. And depending on your income level, like I said, I don't know what it is, but you would qualify for potentially grants, which is just free money to take classes.
Yeah.
And then as long as you pass your classes, you don't have to pay the money back.
Oh, shit. And what do they do that for? Why would they just do that?
So you go to
college. Why do they want me to learn how to...
So you go to college.
Go to theater.
And you can't use it forever. Like the funds do run up and stuff. And you probably have to take a minimum of like 2 classes to be like half-time enrolled, which isn't that big of a deal. It's 2 classes.
Yeah. But then what happens, like, will it run out and then I have, in order to like finish my education or whatever, like I have to like just take on like whatever's left? Like
potentially. It depends what you qualify for. There's all sorts of grants and stuff out there.
Fuck yeah, dude.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of options and shit. And now that you're over the age of 25, you don't have to use your parents' income.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I asked how old you were.
Yeah. It's like a insurance thing. Like it's the same.
Yeah, federal funding in college, like you have to use your parents' income up until the age of 24.
Oh, okay.
As long as your parents provided for you up until like your 18th birthday, and like they were your legal guardians, and like you weren't emancipated, it's like a whole bunch of bunch of shit. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make you work right now.
No, you're good, man.
I know you're not on the clock on.
No, I mean I don't do any of that for a living anymore, but now I help schools automate emails. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's what I do full time.
How does that work? Like you just like automate, like meaning like just send blast out. You like set those up,
Yeah. So yeah, have you ever heard of Salesforce?
Mm-mm. No.
It's like a huge company like Microsoft. It's a software platform. They implement customer relationship management systems for people. So I implement Salesforce Marketing Cloud, which is Salesforce's marketing system, and I teach people how to use it, and I help them automate their emails.
Oh, okay.
So I go into universities, and I can't say any universities on here that I've worked with. I could tell you some after.
Why not?
Just because I have to sign, NDAs and
what kind of emails are you guys? Are they sending out?
Nothing. It's just like I can't like sign huge client contracts with companies, So it's like can't talk about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That just makes me want you to talk about it,
right?
Even though it's like.
But so I did it at like ASU, so that's what I used to do at ASU. Now I just do it for a private company.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, admissions emails, financial aid emails. Anytime you get an email from a school, like that's like what I help them build.
Shit.
Yeah.
That's like the worst part of any job, I feel like, is having to deal with emails, and that's like literally your whole job. You're telling me.
That's my job.
Like
yeah.
You just build emails.
I do not build emails. I do the technology that helps them build emails.
Oh, okay. And you teach them how to.
I teach them how to build their own emails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds
you don't want
worse.
Me building emails.
The only thing worse than building emails yourself is trying to help other people build emails. So you're not.
Yeah, it's not too bad. We do text messages and social media stuff and all sorts of stuff for them.
Yeah.
So like you get a text, like, hey, you signed up for this event and it's happening in an hour.
Right. Yeah.
Like that's all automated through like the system.
And so dealing with people like that, like, do you get the general sense that like people are kind of dumb? Or like for the most part, are people pretty like competent and like good at like picking up things? Like you have to like deal with that a lot, don't you?
Yeah, I mean it's always a know your audience situation for sure. Some people get it more than others.
Yeah.
I mean we live in the world where I'm 29. I grew up with computers. Sometimes I'm teaching 55-year-olds.
Right.
that did not grow up with computers.
Yeah, it's just something they don't know. Yeah.
And that it's very slow for them. They don't pick it up as easily as like younger people.
Yeah.
But then, you know, I work with 60-year-olds who have been super into computers ever since the 90s, and they're way smarter than me with computers.
Yeah,
and they can
yeah.
learn it in 5 seconds.
They just kept up with the times. Yeah.
So yeah, so the age isn't really a factor there. It's just like the knowledge level of like
Yeah.
people come in all variety of shapes and sizes. So
Yeah.
yeah, I work with a lot of different types of people, and from different countries, and from East Coast, West Coast. I mean, Canadians, Australians, like
Damn.
whoever.
Bunch of characters, huh?
Yeah, everyone's very different. It's a very big culture shock, dude. As far as like talking to people outside of the United States, and
Yeah.
especially now for the last year during COVID and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in what way? Like you'd be like talking to people from India or whatever in here.
Yeah, right. We have a whole office. My company has a whole office in India. So
Oh fuck.
So yeah, it's just like hearing different experiences, how they're locked down, how, like what's going on there. Like,
Oh right, yeah.
you know, Canada is still very locked down. They have a lot of restrictions. Vaccinations aren't like super widely available yet. Shit like that. Oh, good rebound,
Wow.
sons. Jesus. So yeah, it's just been very different, man. Like it's been very eye opening from like American versus the world perspective of.
Yeah.
Like the world, we feel like the world revolves around us.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
sometimes
I know.
it does.
Yeah.
But then other times people look at us like, what's fucking wrong with you guys?
Yeah, like
you know.
I think America's always been just viewed as like arrogant, you know, like.
Yeah.
And I feel like this kind of doesn't really help the case where America's just like, fuck it, you know, we're good.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we're still. It's not like it's like everywhere is back open, but I would imagine a lot of places are still have curfews and shit, you know, or whatever.
Yeah, they do. I think they do have curfews in Canada still. I'm not positive on that. I know their provinces were locked down so that like you couldn't travel across their state borders.
Oh, damn.
So like if
Sounds
you lived in
awful.
Arizona, you couldn't go to California
Yeah.
for a whole year.
Damn. Yeah, that's not cool.
Yeah, and that's just, I mean, families were like cut off from each other like that.
Yeah.
And like that's the type of shit they were like explaining to me that I'm like, Jesus, man. Like,
Yeah. Oh my god.
yeah. And then yeah, I have to be very receptive of like how they still live when I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to this open mic tonight at this bar.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
They're like, all right, have fun, you piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I'm gonna go see this play, you know.
yeah,
You know,
dude.
hanging out, enjoying my life.
Yeah, man. It's very interesting. The older I get, like the more like I try to like I feel like understand things like from different perspectives.
Yeah.
And I feel like COVID has very like it opened up my eyes a lot to like different perspectives of things.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah, for sure. Just like everyone's approach to like this major, like everyone had the same problem, but had a different approach to that problem. You know?
Exactly.
And it kind of shows you a lot.
And like trying to understand why they have the different approaches. Like
Right,
I
yeah.
like talking to like a black person about vaccines and having them explain to me you know, just like the historical, like, you know, black people haven't been treated well in like medical America, and like they've been experimented on and lied to, and
They just
like,
don't trust the
yeah, and like that's
There's a
stuff
trust
that
issue
like
there.
that's not in my like even like critical thinking brain space of
Yeah.
information, you know.
Yeah.
But
like
now
to you,
it
it's just like,
is.
oh, there's a vaccine. Like, here's a cure, and you take it, and
Yeah,
that's
I'm like,
the end
yeah,
of it,
it's so
right?
simple.
Yeah.
But for a lot of people, it's not that simple.
Yeah.
They're like, well, like, you don't know what they did to my grandpa. Like, you know what I mean?
Right,
I'm
yeah.
like, well, fuck, man. Like,
Yeah.
that's-
It's a culture thing. It makes you like second guess, you know,
Right.
when you're told what to do by those in charge.
Right. And for me, like, I mean, as a very ignorant white person, like, I mean, I don't feel like I have, like, a culture, you know? And, like, that's, like, a struggle for me, too,
Yeah.
to, like, understand of, like, you know?
You don't think you have a culture?
Like, I don't have, like a generational culture that I feel like was, like, put into me over the years of, like, traditional things, like, you know, that my family did or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like I don't feel like I have like that big of a bond to my family in general.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like your history or your like yeah, like your genetics or anything like that. Like
Exactly.
yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. What kind of white are you? Do you know?
I don't know if I've ever been asked that before.
You know, I think there's like
my ancestors come from like Wales.
Oh, okay.
And Europe. But yeah, I mean, I know my ancestors like immigrated here in like the late 1800s.
Yeah.
And like we weren't American, you know, from the beginning.
Yeah.
But other than that, like I don't know.
Yeah.
My family doesn't even have the same last name as the people who traveled here.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you're just white and you're here.
Yeah. The story I know is my family immigrated into Canada and wanted to come into the United States and met a family of 4 or a family of 5 that were named the Coxes.
Oh,
and
okay.
my ancestors changed their name and joined them and became like a family of 9 or 10.
Oh, just like, we'll join you guys, yeah.
To get into America.
Interesting. Okay.
So I don't have like relatives who have my last name. There's 6 of us. And that's it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's like as far as you can go back?
Yeah. So it's me, my 2 brothers, my dad. My 2 nieces have my last name. And now, I mean, my wife has my last name. So 7.
Dang. So you're just starting it over, huh?
If I don't have boys, I mean, my family will die. To be dramatic about it.
Unless you have a daughter that's a little promiscuous and gets pregnant without getting married.
Potentially, yeah.
Or is a strong female. I guess I could have gone that way. Is a strong female that doesn't take the last name.
Yeah.
And then she can. But then the kid, I guess, might have the dad's last name probably, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know how that works.
I don't know either. But yeah, I mean, I don't know shit about my family history or anything. Along those lines, at least. And yeah, that's something like I've only thought about recently as I've gotten older of like, damn, if I don't have kids, like my family might just not exist.
Right.
You know?
Like, what is this? Yeah. What legacy am I going to leave?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, that's not to be like super dramatic about it, but I never really thought about like stuff like that in terms of like cultural or like, you know,
the impact, of the history, yeah. It's weird. It's kind of like I've also heard like it's almost like something that I don't know. It's hard to explain, but sometimes it feels like there's cultural things that happen that because it's like it happened a while ago. It's almost embedded in your DNA. Like an example, like I've heard that like a lot of black people like things like well done, you know, like they'll get like fucking chicken neck well done or extra crispy or whatever. They don't like
pink in their meat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they don't. Yeah, the steak they'll do well done.
The first time I heard that was Donnell Rawlings said that.
Oh, see, yeah, exactly. So okay, so it's a thing, and I've heard that it's because like back in the day, like what black people were given to eat was all the like shit part of the animal or whatever, you know. So in order to make sure that they didn't get sick, they would overcook it. Yeah, so that, you know, they made sure that it was all copacetic. So it's like, but how is that like? It's not like that anymore, but still, it's like a thing, you know, where like black people like get stuff well done or whatever. Like it's like almost as if it was in their blood, you know.
Yeah.
But it's like they didn't go through that. It's just something that's like a cultural thing without even thinking about it.
It's like
how does stuff like that work? You know,
passed down in their DNA subconsciously.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that stuff's really fascinating to me, and I mean, I know like, you know, Joe Rogan's talked about it, but it's like the experiment of like, you know, like rats being electrocuted for like a certain thing, or like they were introduced, I think the experiment was like they were introduced pheromones and like shocked when they smelled something, and then they had children and like their children would be scared of the pheromones like natively.
Yeah.
Well,
that's crazy.
They've never been shocked before.
Yeah.
Like things like it's like genetically like animalistically we pass down certain traits
Yeah.
just naturally.
Yeah.
So it's like it could be just one of those things where it's like that was ingrained in their head and into their DNA.
That's weird,
from their
huh?
ancestors, and it just got passed down.
Yeah. I guess it's probably like that fear, like that natural fear, like for the sake of survival.
Yeah.
Like maybe that's a genetic thing.
Yeah.
Why we always have that like fight or flight, like without even thinking about it. We just have a reaction to certain things.
And there's
and
like
it's for our
something
own
to
good.
say about like the survival instincts in that aspect as well. Like they're more, like they're passed down more than, non traits that don't matter.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
know?
Exactly. Like if it comes down to your survival, like it's gonna stick in your DNA probably.
Right. And are you triracial?
Yeah.
Okay.
My mom is all white. I'm pretty sure she's from in like that whole area too, or their family is my family. And my dad is half Korean, half black.
Half Korean, half black.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
what a mindfuck that must
Yeah.
be for your dad.
It's actually pretty common because it was the Korean War. So like when all the Americans went out to Korea, they fucked all the Koreans. Yeah. And then my grandma was a Korean woman that had like all these like half black kids. And
Really?
then just came out to America. So my dad was like born in Korea and lived there till he was like 12, and then their family moved to Washington.
Really?
With like some other black man, I think. But
Interesting.
But yeah, it was like, but my dad said that like growing up, like he had friends who were like they had these Asian eyes, but they had like blonde hair and blue eyes, because there were all these like half breeds running around.
Yeah.
And that's just, that's the side effects of war.
Yeah. And you got a lot of your dad's traits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
That's very fascinating.
Yeah, my dad has very strong genes. If you see all my siblings, we hardly look anything like our mom. My mom's just like, my mom looks like she was adopted.
This
like,
white lady that you don't
Yeah.
know. She looks like your stepmom.
Yeah. It's funny though, like I have heard, like as ironic as it sounds, like I've heard people say that I have my mom's eyes.
Interesting.
Like if you're to like actually look at the eyes, I guess, maybe not the shape, but
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but yeah, I think that's kind of how it works a lot of the time. Like if you have like a mix, like a multicultural couple, like a lot of times the colored person's genes are usually going to take over.
Interesting. Okay.
From what I've seen,
Yeah.
I think, like if you have like a black woman and a white woman, like that kid most likely is going to look pretty, like it'll look mixed, but have a lot of black features, I would think.
Yeah. My wife's opposite. She's half Mexican. Her dad's full Mexican. Her mom's white. And
Oh, well, yeah, unless
she
you're...
doesn't look Mexican at all.
Yeah, unless you're Mexican, because maybe, I don't know, maybe Mexicans have weaker genes or something, but...
And the only reason I even know that you're triracial is because you said it on stage. You said you're biracial on stage.
Yeah.
And I remember you got off stage, and I was like, have you ever said you're triracial? And you're like, no. And I was like, you should for sure say you're triracial.
Yeah, I started saying that.
And I think that might have been the first night I met you. I'm not positive.
That's so funny, man. That must have been a while ago.
It was like, last year sometime.
Dang.
February, maybe?
Yeah. Yeah, so it's a good mix. It's a good mix of things.
Well, and I mean, how does that impact your, life or culture in general? Or like, would you say it does or does not? Or is it something you think about? Is it something like, your dad talks about or?
Yeah, kind of. I think it's kind of like it's I think there's like a mixed experience all on its own, Like anyone who's mixed, like they kind of have that, like it's almost like an identity crisis, because it's like depending on what you look like, you might end up you're wondering, because like if you're like say you're just mixed between black and white, like you don't look like a white kid, but also like a lot of times within black culture, like you'll be made fun of for being a light skin or whatever. Maybe say you have darker skin, but you have straight hair. Like there's just something when you're mixed, you really are just mixed. You're kind of caught in between these like cultures, you know what I mean?
That's interesting. Yeah.
So it's like you're kind of just trying to figure out where you stand, and a lot of times just kind of in the middle,
Yeah.
Because it's like I have white family, I have black uncles too. But I look like a fucking, I look like Bruce Lee. So it's like, but my brother, he's my younger brother, but he's taller than me. He's like 6'2". He has curly hair. He has some like Asian features, but he looks more like on the black side.
Interesting.
His hair is like braided and everything. He has like face tattoos. Like he looks like I think we look related. Like people used to think we were twins, but we look a lot different now. But it's like, to see our family, it's just, you never really know what you're gonna get. Really is a.
That's interesting too.
Yeah. It's a crapshoot. But
yeah, it's interesting how genetics work like that in general. Like, I mean, my older brother is my size, my height.
Yeah.
We look very similar.
Yeah.
And then my other brother, he's 5'8", 5'9". When I'm 6 foot.
Yeah.
He's like pretty skinny, pretty athletic.
He's like
black hair instead of brown hair.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He looks a lot
just
more
different?
like my dad, and we look like my mom.
Oh, okay.
And it's just how it worked out. But
yeah.
my mom's 5'2" and my dad's 5'9". So
Dang.
Me and both my brother just tower over my parents.
Yeah, you guys are all yeah.
And then my other brother looks more like my dad.
Damn. How'd that happen?
I don't
Where'd
know.
you guys get the height from?
I don't know.
You don't have a grandpa or anything
like
that's
I'm
like
taller
taller,
than my grandpa.
like your family's?
Yeah, I'm taller than my grandpa too.
Oh, shit.
But like one of my uncles, my mom's brother, is 6'6" or 6'5".
Oh, okay.
So there's like some tall
Something
gene
there, yeah.
in there somewhere.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know how this stuff works. It's like just, it feels like it's the most random thing. Like you just throw it up and whatever, your DNA lands on, that's what you get. And
Yeah.
It's like.
Yeah, I remember doing that like trait stuff in like 8th grade of like, you get 2 chromosomes from your mom, 2 from your dad, and then like the 2 that are like dominant win, or like whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Determining like
Playing a slot machine.
Are your kids gonna have blonde hair, blue eyes, like type of shit?
Yeah.
But it's always like, yeah, who fucking knows? Like,
yeah. Yeah. You're like, oh, I just hope he's not ugly.
Right, dude.
That'd be the worst. Can you imagine having an ugly kid?
I can't
it's
imagine.
Like, God, this is gonna be my thing for the rest of the life.
I distinctly know one person on my Instagram who has a very ugly kid. And every time I see the photos, moms love posting pictures of their kids. I'm like, man, your kid is so goddamn ugly. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
he's not very Instagram friendly.
No, it's just one of those things. I'm like, Jesus.
Oh, man. Like, man, you better raise him to have a good personality.
Yeah, dude. Like, it better be funny. Dude, sun's up by 10, bro.
Yeah.
I'm hyped.
Fucking Suns.
Hyped, bro. Sun's in 4.
Oh, my God. I don't know how I would feel if the Suns took it all.
I would be.
I guess I'd be excited.
I'd be jacked to the tits. Wear a sun shirt every day for the rest of the year.
Oh, man. The whole city's going to be just super annoying for, like, the whole rest of the year.
Oh, man. I can't wait. It's been a long time coming as an Arizona sports fan, man.
Yeah. You were born out here?
Yeah, I'm from Arizona, born and raised. I'm from Lake Havasu.
You were born in Lake Havasu?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit. I lived there before I was here. Like, when I moved out on my own, I first moved to Lake Havasu.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I loved it out there. I think about, like, moving back often.
I wonder if we talked about that before.
I don't
know.
So. I feel like I would have remembered.
Well, what made you move to Havasu? What made you come to Arizona in general, especially Havasu?
Yeah, right. So I was just living with my family. They lived in Bullhead at the time.
Okay.
So I turned 18, and I was like, oh, I just want to get out of the house. And Havasu was cheap, and it had the lake, and I had friends out there. So I was like, I'll just go out there, and I lived out there for a few years. It was a good time. I really liked it in Havasu. Shout out. It was cool because it's like there's not a city on the other side for like an hour going both ways, and then you have the lake. So the whole town just feels like a little island, and that's just totally my vibe. I loved it. Yeah,
you loved it?
I would go to the lake after work, just grab a beer.
Where'd you work?
I worked at the In-N-Out there for a little bit.
Okay.
For like 3 years.
No shit. You worked at In-N-Out for 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was. It was interesting. It was fun. And then other than that, I like had this like part-time job for for a magazine company there, a local magazine company.
Living,
the Living Magazine,
Living Magazine.
You know about Living Magazine?
I know everything about Havasu, man.
How long did you live out there? You were born out there?
18 years. Yeah, I was born
Holy
there.
shit, you were born and raised out there?
Born and raised, man.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. Holy,
My dad graduated from Lake Havasu High School, first class ever, 1970.
oh my god. We probably know a lot of the same people.
Probably, man.
Because a lot of people just stay out in Havasu.
Yeah, my first job there was Bob's Big Boy before it closed.
Oh shit.
That used to be by the old Walmart, and then it's like a Starbucks now or something. And I worked at Mud Shark.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. That burger place. That was. It's been there for a while, right? Maybe it wasn't called Bob's.
I mean,
Big Boy.
it was Bob's Big Boy, and then it turned into something else, and now I think it's a Starbucks. It's on like it's on the highway coming into town.
Yeah.
It's like there's I think a Hobby Lobby in that area now, where old Walmart used to be.
Yeah.
It's in that like shopping by Food City.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And I used to work. I worked at Mud Shark Brewery.
Oh, okay. Fuck yeah.
And then I dropped out of high school and I worked at the community college when I was 17 till I moved till 18 and a half-ish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then you moved out here?
I moved to Flagstaff. I went to college in Flagstaff.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, so I dropped out of high school on my 17th birthday, and then I got a GED and went to community college. And then, I mean, growing up in Havasu, I mean, for me, it was always just go to college and get a better life. You know? Like
just get out of Havasu.
Wasn't a lot of opportunity in Havasu. You know?
Yeah.
Like, my parents didn't go to college. My mom still lives in Havasu, still
Really?
works. Yeah. Still works at the Safeway in Havasu.
Yeah, it's very easy. It's just you get caught up in that small town thing. You find your place and you just get stuck there.
Yeah. My dad worked at Safeway with my mom, and he became a school teacher. Jesus, they caught up,
That's adorable. Holy shit, this is a game now.
And my dad
116.
My dad moved out here. He still lives here with his wife. My mom still lives in Havasu with her new husband. Yeah, I mean, growing up there, I was like, I gotta go to college and fucking, do something better. Like, make something of myself. Like, there wasn't...
Yeah.
And I mean, I grew up pretty poor, so it wasn't like I was gonna save up money and fucking move. You know? And, like, living with my parents, I definitely didn't want to.
You weren't planning on joining the family business at Safeway? And,
no, fuck no. And, yeah, so I went to Flagstaff, went to college, and I lived there and for 7 years, worked there full-time at NAU.
Dang.
After college, and then I always was like, I gotta
So you were in Flagstaff for, like...
7 years.
7 years? Okay.
Yeah, 18 to 25, 26-ish. And now I've been here for 4 years.
Oh, okay. Dang.
And yeah, I mean, I always had in my head, like, I'm going to move to LA and make movies.
Yeah.
You know? And then kind of met my wife. She got a job down here. She was like, do you want to move to Phoenix with me? And I was like, I guess.
Yeah.
You know? Take the leap. And yeah, we've been together ever since down here. And moving to Phoenix, I mean, worked out really well in every aspect.
Yeah. Other than the selling movies part in LA.
For sure. But that's still on the docket, dude.
Can you sell movies in Phoenix?
Suns won.
Hell yeah, go Suns. Go Suns.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully
go Chris Paul.
Hopefully one day, man, you know.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But what made
Do you regret that? Do you regret choosing love over following your dreams?
No. No, because I'm still following my dreams. If I gave up on them, absolutely I would regret it. Forever.
So when are you gonna sell those 8 movies?
I mean, hopefully someday, man.
Do they buy movies from people that are like, you just got to do it online now? Like, you can just send stuff in? Like, how does that work?
Yeah.
It doesn't. You don't have any benefit by living in LA and trying to do that?
I think you probably have a lot of benefit living in LA trying to do that.
Really?
I mean, like my like advisor at NAU was like, he's still like a contracted by Sony, like director. He's made movies and stuff, and he was always like, you need to go to LA.
Yeah,
like,
that's just the thing.
He's like, I can get you meetings with people if you go to LA, type of thing, you know?
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's just about having the connections and becoming established. Like, you can't really do that
Yeah.
remotely.
Being there, being around, you know? It's kind of just like the comedy scene. It's like, it's like half of it's just being around.
Yeah,
you know?
you just have to be there.
Being at fucking open mics and shit. Just being there, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That makes sense.
Shut that shit off.
Sons and 4.
But yeah, I mean, I definitely am continuing to pursue all that shit, you know?
Yeah.
Just, I feel like in my head it became more of the long game of, I feel like living in the instant gratification generation, it's always, you know.
As quick as you can get it, yeah.
I want to, yeah, I mean, you see it with kids in open mics. Like, oh, I want to be hosting this show immediately.
Yeah.
It's like, how long have you been doing open mics, dude? 4 months? Like, fucking give it 4 years, bro. Like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Why am I not booked on anything yet? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was the same way for me writing movies. I was like, oh, I wrote a movie. I'm going to sell it, right? Like,
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
Why don't you write
like,
10?
oh, this is a hit.
Yeah. It's like, no, write 10 more, dude. Like, what
Yeah.
the fuck's the matter with you? Like, you know? It's like your first script's not going to be as good as your 10th. Your fucking first year of comedy is not going to be good as your 10th. Like, you know?
Yeah, it's just about putting in the time.
Totally.
Showing up.
And I feel like that's something I just came more to accept as I got older of, like, it's a long game. And, and I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, you got to grind it out.
And I can wait. And, like, one day I'll be fucking, I'll do that. But until then, I'll do my day job. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's weird. It's like, of course, you see those people that have been doing, like, comedy, for example, you know, been doing comedy for a few years, and then somehow they catch a big break, and next thing you know, they're, like, touring or whatever. They got famous on the internet, and so now they're able to make money, and they're, like, famous. But then think about how many comics, you know, have been doing it for, like, 10, 12 years before they finally, like, are able to, like, become an opener, like a traveling opener, you know, with somebody, and, like, at least be able to, like, make money, like, to where you can live off of comedy. Like, it's just everyone has a different path. You never really know. Like, sometimes you can kind of speed it up, but a lot of times you just kind of gotta wait until the moment pops off and show up, you know. And
there will be those 2-year, like, instant successes where kids put in the work for 2 years and then they can fucking you know, start touring and shit, and it happens for them. But who knows if it's gonna pan out? You know?
You might have got into it too early, and
like, who knows if they can handle it? Who knows if they're mature enough to fucking, like, you know, not fuck up, get into drugs, like, you know, whatever. So it's like you never, like, the biggest thing I've learned is just stop judging or stop comparing yourself to other people all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah, just realize you're doing your own thing, and as long as you work at it, you know, you'd like to think that eventually it'll all play out, you know, the way you want it to.
Yeah.
If you put in the work, that's what I like to think.
Yeah, man, you get out of it what you put into it. Eventually.
Yeah.
What So what made you come to Phoenix from Havasu, and then what made you start doing stand up?
So mainly, I mean, I had some friends out here, but it was mainly just wanting to get out of the small town, go to bigger city.
Yeah.
And a girl I was with at the time her family was out here. So it was like a whole thing, but then we moved out here.
Havasu girl?
Yeah.
Do I know her? No, just kidding.
No, actually, I got her to come out to Havasu.
Oh, okay,
so
cool.
I was a Havasu boy, you know what I mean? I brought her out from Phoenix, but then went back then after a little while. And then that didn't pan out. And then shortly thereafter, I started doing comedy. And then I was like, holy shit, I think I love this. Like, this just kind of feels like this is my shit, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and I just kind of, I've been going nonstop since then, you know?
Yeah. And how long has that been?
A little over 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah. I started in February of, what would that be, 2019?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I started in July 2019.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. Hey, we're the same class then.
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I started at Highside. You remember Highside?
No,
I was in Sunny Slope off of 7th Street.
No.
It's a fucking ghetto ass.
I feel like I've seen pictures.
It was rough. But it was my first mic.
But what made you like take that step where you wanted to do your first mic? Like, what was the motivation, or like, were you thinking about it?
Yeah, I was kind of thinking about it. Like, I was
watching stand up,
fan of comedy. Yeah, it's like since I was a kid, I always loved making people laugh and all that. Like, I wasn't really one of those guys. Like,
sometimes that is the story, you know.
Yeah. No, like if you ask people who knew me, like who know me, like outside of comedy, like when I was younger, like most people are surprised. Even people at work, like I'm not the funny guy at work. Like typically, like I'm kind of just like a quiet. I was like I'm a listener, you know. But then I just became a fan of comedy, started watching it, and you know what? Like the big pushing moment for me, believe it or not, was seeing Chris D'Elia live when he came out here.
Okay.
It was at a theater. I don't remember what theater it was, but it was like he just fucking crushed it. And obviously it was his fans, but it was just crazy, like seeing a whole theater of people just bursting out in laughter. Like it was like fucking ridiculous, and it was like it didn't seem that hard, you know. And it's like, it's like to be able to, I was like, shit, I think I kind of want to be able to do this, you know. Like that's kind of like, what else, just making people laugh and getting paid for it, like that sounds amazing. And so I was like, I think I'm definitely gonna pursue this. So then like that week I went and checked out a mic, and then like the following day I said fuck it, I'm gonna do it. And then I just did it, and I was like, all right, I'm right, I do like this.
That's legit.
You know? Yeah.
And how'd your first mic go? Did you have like 5 minutes of jokes, or was it
fuck, it was crazy, dude.
Awkward 2.5 minutes and you got out of there, or?
Yeah, well, no, I filled my time, but it didn't go how I planned it out. Like I went, and I was so nervous about like, you know, like people heckling me or whatever, so that when I got there, I wanted to be prepared. So I was like in my head just trying to like write roast for everyone around the room. You know, just in case like someone started talk shit. I was like, oh, I'm gonna get them back.
That's interesting.
But then when I went up, I was so nervous that I told like one like mediocre like bullshit joke, and then the only thing that could come out of my mouth was like all the roasts that I was thinking of. So I just like went around the room and was just like roasting everybody.
That's great.
And some of them were good, and some of them were great. And I called this black guy who was dressed nice. Told him he looked like Andre 2000, and it was fun. It was cool to be up there and to be like, man, I'm really like just talking shit to all these people, and no one wants to fight me. You know, it's like I'm literally on stage with the microphone, and it's just like when you're behind the mic, like you really can just say what you want, because it's like, oh, this guy's trying, you know. It's like whatever it is. Yeah. So I was like, oh man, that's crazy. But that wasn't even like the craziest part of the night. Like that was my first time, and then almost like the next comic went up, and then I went outside, and then this guy like pulls up in a Jeep, and he was like, holy shit, call the police, I just hit somebody. And we looked down the street, and there was a guy like laying down, like slumped over in the street. And so everybody ran down to him, and he was down, like face down, like on the street. His ass was up in the air, his pants were down. It looked like it was like the most vulnerable position, but he was just laying there. And someone like went to try and check his pulse. Like, oh my god, I think this guy's dead. and then like I read an article like the next day that like later he was like pronounced dead, like at the hospital, like. And I was like, and
this is at your first mic?
Yeah, this is at my first mic.
Your
like
first
a guy,
mic, you saw a dead body.
Yeah, it was the closest I've ever been to like, someone dead like that. He was just like
came back?
Laying down there. Yeah, he was out, and I was like, holy shit! Like this crazy shit like this happened like at open mics, you know? Like I was like, I think I love this, you know, like this is amazing.
That's fucking insane, bro.
Yeah, and it's kind of like that's also been like kind of a side motivating factor, because like when you're out, especially like in the comedy scene, like a local comedy scene, like it just draws such characters, and like there's just so many things that could happen. Like obviously nothing that exciting has happened since then, but no one's died yet again, but
that's extreme.
But yeah, that was my first mic, and I was like, oh shit, this is pretty wild.
Jesus, that's wild, man. Oh, and I didn't even fucking tell you, but you can adjust the volume on your fucking headset if it's all fucked up.
Cool.
That's wild, man. So you just kind of went for it. Chris D'Elia was like the big, like, so you were like sat in the audience and you were just kind of sitting there like, I could do this. Kind
of, not in like a cocky way, but it was just like,
even if it is,
it just made it seem, yeah, I guess it was just like, it just made it seem like such a thing, you know, because it's like I was just like, wow, he's literally just there like telling jokes that he wrote, and people were like dying, like loving it, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like that's got to be a cool feeling.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'm gonna try this out.
That's interesting.
Because I've never been like, I don't think I'm not like some like funny, it comes and goes, but I know that I'm a good at like I'm good at, I've always been observant, you know.
Yeah.
And I know I can learn to like write and things like I like writing. I think writing's behind everything, you know, theater,
Right.
movies, everything. It all starts with writing.
For sure.
You know, it's the only thing that's like stood the test of time. That's what builds our culture, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like,
there's a screenwriting saying of you can't turn a bad script into a good movie. You can turn a good script into a bad movie, though. So like
you
no,
fucked it up.
yeah, no good movie you've ever seen came from a bad
script.
screenplay.
Yeah.
They all started with a
Right.
really high quality writing on the page.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
I like that. Yeah.
yeah,
I'm trying to think of a counter argument, but I can't think of any
Yeah.
any movie that just ended up being good that wasn't like
yeah. And I mean, there's dog shit movies out there,
yeah.
but
I
like
get they're like random fandoms, but it's not a
the screenplay is probably pretty good though.
yeah.
You know, at least halfway decent to
Yeah.
be made. But yeah, that's fascinating, man. I always like finding out like what got people into comedy in general.
Yeah.
You know, because everyone's like path is different. The way people view comedy is always different. You
Right,
know?
yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
always interesting. And I mean, there's so many different types of comedians. I mean, there's people who fucking sing on stage. There's people who do rhymes.
Yeah,
There's people
I
who
know.
fucking tell stories. There's people who just do one-liners. Like, there's people who, you know.
Yeah.
I try to do dark humor, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah, there's so many different ways you can go with it.
yeah.
But at the end of the day, you know, you're just trying to get a laugh. Just whatever's funny. Whatever you can do that's funny. you
Right.
know? I mean, most of the time, some people have like their little rules about, you know, cheap laughs and things like that. But I don't know.
Feel like, just worry about that when you're getting paid, you know?
Yeah, right. yeah.
I feel like I'm still in the stage of just like getting comfortable with everything, like getting comfortable on stage all the time,
Yeah.
whether or not I'm bombing or fucking doing great. Like, I think it's really easy to stand on stage when you're succeeding and getting laughs.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then, like, I mean, for me, I'm like, I need to get better about sweating it and like standing up there and being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Shit like
yeah.
that.
That's what I've heard is that like pretty much for the first 5 years, like you're just trying to get comfortable on stage.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like think about that. Like 5 years, that's a lot of time.
Yeah.
But in the grand scheme of like comedy, like you might just be getting it 5 years in, you know, like just
Right.
really starting to like break through to where you can really do something, like find your
Right.
voice. But then again, it's just one of those things. Everybody has their own path. Sometimes you can just really put in the work and maybe you'll figure it out sooner than later.
Right. Yeah. I always just try to put it in perspective with my like current career, you know. It's like I wanted to make, you know, like when I was straight out of college, you know, I wanted to make 6 figures a year.
Yeah.
You know, who doesn't?
Yeah, right.
But, you know, like I needed to get 8 years of experience to fucking get there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like I think of it as the same way as comedy. It's like, yeah,
Exactly.
dude, I want to fucking feature at the Tempe Improv.
Yeah.
I want to fucking do this stuff, but it might take me 8 fucking years.
Yeah,
to
you
get
got to
there.
go through your your
And-
education.
And I can accept that. Like, you
Yeah.
know, it's like there's nothing wrong with being a 35-year-old comic.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but I like sometimes people get so caught up with that of like, dude, I'm 25. I should be fucking succeeding and fucking featuring and like fucking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, no, man, you got a lot of time. Like,
Yeah.
Fucking.
Yeah, and that's what's cool is like there's comics who are doing it who are in their fucking 70s or whatever, you know? Like you can still
Absolutely.
be making money well into, you know, and just off writing probably. You could probably just write for people, you know,
Right.
for the rest of your life.
There's a lot of different avenues, man. A lot of people some people realize they're good at throwing comedy shows.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? And some people just start making a living doing that.
I know, that's what I've noticed too. Like there's a lot of different approaches. Like you'll notice people who kind of go on the show running side of things who are like for whatever reason they're just really good at that and that's their thing, and then there's people who you know who are good at hosting, or people who are just you know just trying to figure it out, you know, just comics. You know.
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely. For me, like, getting into comedy was like super similar. I was at a comedy show at the House of Comedy and watching the opener. Just whoever was hosting, and I don't think I've ever seen them ever since. I don't know who it is.
It's just a random local or what?
I'm not gonna out them by saying what their jokes were, but watching their jokes, they weren't really getting a whole lot of laughs, and it was kind of awkward.
Right.
And I was sitting there with my wife, and I was like, I could fucking do this. I was like, I could start this fucking show. Like, I was like, fuck. And me and my wife moving down here, I mean, I've always been a big comedy fan just as a whole. Like, I mean, growing up and always into SNL. Like, I was always into, like, watching the late night talk shows, Jay Leno and shit, like, growing up. And moving down here, that was like one thing I was really excited about, is being able to go to a comedy show. I was like, I've never been to a comedy club. Like, I've never bought tickets and seen a comedian.
I'm surprised how many people haven't been to comedy shows. Like, when you ask, there's a lot of people like who just don't. It's not a thing, you know.
So many of my friends have never been to one.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? And I've taken a handful of people to their first comedy shows ever, you know, which is an awesome feeling for me, because I'm like, isn't this fun?
Yeah, like it's a whole new source of entertainment. You know? You didn't even know. Yeah,
like my mom came and saw me at JP's last month.
Oh, sick.
And she had never been to a comedy club before. She's like, this is so cool.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I was like, right? Like, I was like, now we got to go to like Stand Up Live or Tempe Improv and take you to like a big headliner.
Yeah.
Or a arena and see, like, you know, Joe Rogan.
Yeah,
or
big
something.
show. Yeah.
But yeah, like talking to my wife, and I was just like, I think I can fucking give it a shot, you know. And then I tried to write some jokes and like went to a couple open mics and watched them. Just sat and kind of was the awkward guy and sat there and
yeah.
And then I was just like, I'm gonna go next week and fucking sign up. You know,
just took the dive, huh?
Yeah.
And how was that feeling, like, going in? Were you pretty nervous?
Super nervous. Yeah. Super nervous the whole time.
Isn't it crazy? Like, you're just like, oh my God, what am I doing? Like, am I just going to get on stage and start talking? You know?
Yeah.
Like, what is this?
Yeah. And like,
that first time was nuts.
And the feeling of being like the new kid in an awkward situation.
Yeah.
Like, I remember.
You feel like everyone else knows each other.
Yeah. And they kind of did.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And my first mic was not Tempe Improv Mania. And I walked in there, and, you know, it's just 30 people talking, sitting around talking. And I don't know anyone. I'm like, hey, can I get on the list? You know, put my name on the list. Like, my wife came with me, just kind of sat there with me all night. And, like, I didn't know what time to get there to sign up. Yeah. You know? Yeah. So I'm fucking last on the list. you know? So I fucking sat there all night. Huh? Yeah, dude. Sat there all night, waited, went up last, and fucking did my little 3 minutes of jokes, because Dave always cut, like, well, at least he used to. He cut the end of the list, so it's like, you know, the last 10 people have 3 minutes or whatever, so you get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
So I just did 3 minutes, and I was like, I'm definitely coming back next week. Yeah. You know, even though it was just doing my jokes to fucking the audio guy, like the 2 other people in the room.
Really? Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But you, like, it was enough for you to be like, oh, this, I really like this.
Oh, fuck yeah, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Just by being up there and, like, you and like knowing that your jokes actually worked, like.
I mean, I didn't even know if they were gonna work at the time, you know. Like, I got a little chuckle, you know, in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, just being up there and holding a mic and fucking, I mean, it was
kind of a rush, huh?
Yeah, it was like one of those feelings where I was like, I feel like I belong here.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I was like, I feel like this is for me.
Yeah.
And then every time I get on stage, I still get that feeling. I'm like, this is where I fucking belong.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
like,
cool.
I belong standing up here fucking making you guys laugh and enjoy your night. Like, you know what I mean?
Like entertaining, huh?
Yeah.
I know, it is cool. It's like I don't get that feeling with like a whole lot of things, but it's like I definitely have that confidence in my desire to do comedy, you know?
Yeah.
It's just there. It's like I don't get tired of it.
Yeah, me neither, man. Yeah. The rush. I get tired of the waiting.
Right,
I mean, waiting to do a mic for 4 hours for sure. But I mean,
the whole system.
That 5 minutes is, I mean.
It is kind of crazy to think like how much work you're putting in just for 5 minutes. Like you're out for hours all just to get your 5 minutes of stage time.
Yeah.
It's like, man.
I was out at that bar I was telling you yesterday, and I was talking to my wife's friend about it, and I was like, yeah, like, I was like, it takes 10,000 hours to become an expert and shit, people say, but comedy is a 5 minute at a time
5 minutes
thing.
at a time, yeah.
And she was like, holy shit. And I was like, yeah, I could do 4 open mics this week, and that's 20 minutes of comedy.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And she was like, wow, that like really puts it into perspective.
Yeah, for real.
And
I never thought of it that way.
I was like, yeah. And I mean, we're talking about 10,000 hours to become an expert.
Yeah.
I was like, it's going to take me maybe 3 weeks to get an hour of comedy in. I was like, it's a long fucking time to become an expert at this shit, man.
That's why it's not, that's why it's not really for the faint of heart, because you just have to be in it for the long haul.
Right.
You see people phase out, and it's not easy either, especially if you're going and there's, 2 people at a bar and you just feel like you're eating shit and everything sucks. You're like, God, what? Like, I'm just supposed to keep doing this,
You're going to eat shit.
Yeah,
I mean,
a lot.
A lot of open mics are not fun.
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
you're doing the same exact joke you did yesterday to the exact same 10 fucking people you did them to yesterday.
Yeah.
Like,
you're really just trying to, like, get the best out of each moment and living for the better times in between, Like,
yeah, man.
Just looking for the bigger shows.
It's just practice, getting in the reps. Like,
yeah.
It's like batting practice for baseball. It's like you got to get out there and swing, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to perform at the show? Well, then you got to get the fucking reps in before the show, man. So
yeah, and that's how I'm trying to approach it too. Like, fucking, I like to think of Kobe. Like Kobe didn't get where he was just by it wasn't like it was all natural. Like he just was nonstop working, practicing.
Yeah.
So open mics, it's like you said, it's just practice. You're practicing.
Yeah.
Practicing with your teammates too, It's like there's fucking audience members at a NBA practice. Like you're there to try to make yourself better, even if that's just getting more comfortable on stage.
Right.
That could give you the advantage.
There's so much to work on with comedy.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, just small little aspects, timing, pauses, like, knowing when to wait before you say your punchline, like,
Yeah, there's a whole little science to
not
it.
walking around, not being fidgety, like, not looking at someone too long. Like,
trying to look comfortable,
Yeah, man, there's so many little nuances that, like, you can fucking work on in a week or in a month or whatever.
Yeah.
I love that quote from Kobe of, he's like one of his coaches just did like a podcast interview, and there's this quote that was like going around that was like, he was like, why would I pass them the ball? He's like, I don't respect their work ethic. Mm-hmm. And he's like, yeah, I don't give a shit that they're my teammates.
Yeah, he's
they
like,
they don't work very hard.
I didn't see them out here with me. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, they don't deserve for me to pass them the ball. It's like, Jesus, dude, like, even your teammates, dude, you gotta fucking put in that work to fucking be on the court with Kobe.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't see you out here.
Yeah.
Why would I pass it to you when I don't think you're gonna make it?
The last 2 weeks, dude. You fuck.
I know I'm gonna make it because I've been practicing all week.
I'm gonna grab another beer and water. Do you need anything? Are you good?
I'll take another beer.
Okay.
But yeah, shout out to Kobe, R.I.P. to the legend. God, I miss him. It's been like hard for me to watch basketball since Kobe died. Yeah. It's like, I don't know, it might be dramatic, but it's weird, It's just like it just reminds me, and it's like, fuck, it sucks.
I've come to learn in my young, long life that it's not fair to tell someone what is or is not dramatic to them.
Oh, right. Yeah. I appreciate that. Subjective, right?
The day Kobe died fucked me up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, just, I mean, I'll never forget the day, I'll never forget what I was doing. It's one of those days for me, like 9/11.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, I remember what I was doing. I still remember I was driving in Scottsdale, just went to a farmer's market with my wife. We had stopped by a really cool auction house movie memorabilia place that sells like legit stuff from old movies. And we were driving home, and I got the update on like Bleacher Report that like a helicopter crashed and they thought it was Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
And I just stopped like in traffic and was like, Kobe Bryant just died. and my fucking wife was like, "What?" And like I was just like, I mean, she doesn't really care, like, you know, she didn't grow up like basketball, Kobe or anything, but like I was like distraught, you know. I was like, Jesus fuck, like,
it is.
I don't know,
it's
like,
fucking weird, isn't it?
And his daughter,
yeah,
like,
it just
like,
got worse and worse.
And her daughter's best friends, like, from her
it was like a whole
team.
helicopter full of little girls in Kobe.
Yeah,
it's like Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and I just texted my brother immediately and was like, dude, like Kobe died. And he was like, what? And like I was like, yeah, dude. And then like the whole rest of the day I was just kind of like,
it's fucked. Yeah, it was weird.
Like, I was like, this is not right, man.
I've never cared so much about like famous person dying, you know, like you've seen it happen to other people, you know, like like when Tom Petty died. And I mean, I don't know, I'm sure there were people that were like, oh my god, can you believe it?
Sure, people like my dad's age were pretty fucked up. Yeah.
But like for Kobe, I was like, oh shit, this is what that feels like, you know, where you're like actually like a big fan of someone, and it's like, whoa, fuck, you know?
Yeah.
Because shit, that was nuts.
Yeah, it was nuts. It still is nuts.
Yeah.
It's still nuts that he's not here, man.
Yeah.
It's it's one of those things that for me, like, I mean, like, you never realize how much of a part, like, Kobe was a big part of my life because of how much he dominated and shit on the Suns.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's why I was surprised. I wasn't sure if you were, because I've gotten mixed, like, reviews from Suns fans about Kobe, you know?
Oh, so man, I just don't. It's like Tom Brady for me. It's like I hate Tom Brady with a passion.
Yeah.
But I fucking love him and respect him like no other.
Yeah, just for his greatness. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if I got a signed Tom Brady jersey, I'd frame that shit and put it right behind me. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, it's just like one of those iconic legends that change things forever. And like, you know. You don't think? I mean, Michael Jordan's like a old 50-year-old guy now. He's not going anywhere anytime soon. It's like you just think that's going to be the same for people like Kobe.
Yeah, and that's what's even shittier is like I think Kobe was on a higher path than what Jordan did post career. You know, 100%. Like he was just getting started.
Kobe
like he
was gonna
writing
coach
books
the Lakers
and
one day.
Fucking dude, he could have. Like I feel like he might have been one of the few people in sports whose post NBA career matched like his NBA career. Like he could have done a lot, you know. He already fucking won an Oscar. He was writing like kids books. He was doing business shit. He was like working.
And that, you know? Did you ever watch that animated movie you won an Oscar for?
No, I never watched it.
It's really
no.
good.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Like you can. It's actually like it wasn't just like a fluff. Like it was like.
Yeah, I think it's called Hair.
Is it?
It's about I think it's called Hair.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I've never watched that actually. And what's cool is you could see that he maintained.
Oh no, it was Dear Basketball.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was about basketball.
I'm thinking of the people who won like the year after him, and I think they thanked Kobe.
Oh really?
Yeah, Oscar-winning short hair. Yeah, this one.
Oh, okay.
Hair Love. Yeah, they talked about Kobe, I think, in their acceptance speech.
Oh really?
Huh. Yeah, Dear Basketball. I've seen Dear Basketball too. I got them mixed up.
Yeah.
Hair's really good. Yeah. Yeah, it's only 6 minutes. It's just like a love letter to basketball.
Basketball, yeah.
Yeah, Hair's really good too.
Love letter to Hair?
Yeah, I'm really into Oscars, dude. Like,
really?
Yeah. I mean,
you like? Well, yeah, I guess you would. So yeah. What are your like? You fully buy into the Oscars? You don't think it's like it's all like it means something? Like the Oscars still mean something?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, how could you ever take it away from someone?
Other than like sales, you know what I mean? Like as far as like putting that like Oscar winner, blah blah blah. Like as far as like actual, like from a criticism like point of view, you know what I mean? Like is it actually like?
Well, Oscars are voted on by the Academy for the Academy, so you know it's kind of like if the NBA, if just players voted for MVP.
Oh, right, okay.
So it's like the players voted for MVP. Like, you know, you were nominated by your peers, you won. So that's like kind of the same as the Oscars.
Okay,
You know, the Academy members vote, and they select who wins the Oscars. So it's like the biggest recognition of, like, you know, what you could win as far as acting and, like, I mean, I think it's like, it's one of those things that, I mean, it used to mean a lot more for sure. But I think now it's evolving into like multicultural, like trying to be more inclusive. Like people are more aware of. I think the Oscars will continue to evolve and change, and like it won't be so artsy fartsy, and it'll be more of like iconic films. Like it's always been strange to me that movies like Avengers are the biggest movies in the world, but they never win Oscars.
Right? Yeah, of course.
But it's like, can't you argue that like that was one of the best movies of the year, if it made the most money of the year?
Yeah,
It's
see,
like,
that's what I've always wondered, because like at least in my ideal world, the Oscars would be awarded to whoever was just like the best artist, as far as like putting out a film or whatever.
Yeah.
Like whoever was like just, which is obviously hard to like, come to a decision on, but like, when something is, I guess if it's unique and it's creative and it's like, because it's easy to make like a blockbuster film, I would think, like.
potentially,
it's easy to. There's a lot of things that you could say it's the same as like a cheap laugh, like what's gonna sell, right?
that's fair.
But I was always under the impression that Oscars, like, at least ideally, go towards it's like more for the arts.
They
It's on the
absolutely,
art side of
they
things, rather
absolutely
than
are
sales.
for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, well, and it's like a lot goes into it. Like you could write an amazing screenplay again that maybe you should, qualify for an Oscar for.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it got made into an Oscar-worthy movie.
yeah. But that's why that's why that isn't best original screenplay. But that doesn't go towards.
But it has to be a pretty good.
It has to be a movie too, right? Yeah.
Like it's like it's all like a culmination of like all these people made the best movies they could possibly make, and then they're being recognized for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is like
everyone had to just.
For me, like it's always been like I want to win an Oscar.
Yeah.
Like, that's always been. Yeah, like I still have that like
Since your Havasu days.
since,
Like, when did this dream start, by the way?
In college for sure.
In the community college, or when you went to
when I went to
Flex?
NAU.
Okay.
I mean, I was always super into movies. Like I always watched movies and would watch them and pick them apart and be like, this is fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Or like this could have been better.
Yeah.
Or like this writing doesn't make sense. Or like I would have wrote that line this way. Or like things like that.
Yeah.
And then when I found out I could study it and like do it as a degree, I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, that
and
sounds.
I just got super into it. But I've always been really into the Oscars, even as a teenager. Like I always watched it.
Really?
Yeah, I always make sure I watch it every year. And I try to read some of the screenplays. I try to watch all of the Oscar-nominated films.
Damn. So you've just always been super into the Oscars, huh?
Always, yeah.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Just because I love movies. I mean, it's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
always
yeah.
been my, like, I just love movies. And I mean, growing up in Havasu, being a small town kid, like, movies was like,
So you had
yeah, like my vision into the outside world,
Oh, right. Yeah.
Like when Netflix used to be mail DVDs.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I was 16, I signed up for my first Netflix account with like my first debit card.
Yeah. And
And
you got a bunch of movies probably, huh?
And I paid for 3 DVDs in the mail at a time. And it
Yeah.
was my favorite fucking thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I would fucking sit in my room and watch movies all day, every day.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just got like super into it. And then fucking writing them and everything, I was like, I love it. I love like the art aspect, the intricacy of like, writing the emotion on the page and fucking figuring out the story and like designing characters and all of it.
Yeah.
That's my biggest goal is to write and direct a movie someday.
Yeah.
For sure.
And win an Oscar with it.
Oscar would be the ultimate. I mean, the ultimate. If I won an Oscar, I could die happy for sure. Yeah.
Oh, no big deal.
Yeah.
Just do it, bro.
Yeah, just no big deal.
Just gotta sell. Do you think it'll be one of these 8 movies you're sitting on right now?
Probably
I
not.
think any of them are
Maybe
Oscar worthy.
I mean, I think one is.
Yeah.
I think one is.
Your last one?
No, it's this one called Letters that I wrote with. I have a writing partner. We met in college. He lives here.
Oh, cool.
We wrote this movie about a guy in the Korean War. Wrote letters to his wife back home and present day, his grandson finds them and starts reading them, and he's a current Marine present day. And he starts like relating his grandpa's life to his own like current struggles.
Yeah.
As a soldier and like a father and a husband, and it like flashes back to the Korean War and follows his grandpa for like most of the movie. Through the Korean War, and his grandpa died, committed suicide, and he never understood why, because it's like a big like thing for Marines, like like abandoning your family and stuff. Like, he always like resented his grandpa for it, and like reading like the letters, he's like figuring out why and like finding out the backstory of like his grandpa and stuff.
Yeah, but you're like watching it unfold like in between, like while he's reading it.
Yeah, and like cutting back to like his therapy sessions present day, and like going through the letters and like discussing them with his wife and stuff.
Dang, that sounds deep.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
I don't think there ever been. I don't think there's been any movie that takes place during the Korean War.
No, and it's the
weird.
biggest negative feedback we've gotten about it
really?
Is that it's not it's not overly marketable.
It wasn't a good war.
It's not very sexy to Hollywood.
Yeah, that's so funny because that must be why, because it's just like.
Yeah, the biggest thing
but people
is like,
do the Vietnam War, and that's when that one's even worse, wasn't it?
People are like, have you thought about changing this to Vietnam? Maybe World War II?
Yeah.
Because it's more marketable.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, why can't we write the best marketable Korean War movie?
Yeah, like, we just don't want to hire that many Koreans.
Right, dude. Like, why can't we put the Korean War on the map, dude? Come on, bro. Yeah,
it's much cheaper to go to Vietnam.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, but I like writing comedies, but I really like writing horror movies, too.
Really?
Yeah.
So you've done a little bit of everything then, huh?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Have you done an action movie, too?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
See, and I'm so jealous because, like, I'm the same. I love movies, but obviously I don't have any of the education or anything. But like, I love the idea. Even if I wasn't like, if it wasn't my movie, if I just got to write for like TV show or movies or something, be able to put that stuff on screen. Like, there's a lot of things that are better on screen than like on stage. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
So it's like I would love to do that, but it's a very overwhelming idea to me to like start a screenplay and just write out the whole. I don't even know where to begin, what to do. So the fact that you've been doing this and like have done so many, and it's like fuck.
Yeah,
I can't imagine.
Oh man, you got to start
the work
somewhere.
You put in. That's very impressive.
I mean, the biggest thing is just learning the basics, learning how to write the structure of a screenplay.
Yeah.
That like it starts with the header. It starts with the intro to the scene.
Yeah.
So you start with like interior, room, daytime. Shit like that.
Yeah, like the setting.
And then it starts with like a little line of description, like 2 men in their mid-20s sit at a table with microphones and headphones. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, like, you set the setting and then, go into dialogue. Screenplays are all description and dialogue.
Yeah. Which it sounds like a lot, because you have to like, you're really just writing out every single thing that's happening pretty much in your head, right?
For sure.
So like when you're starting to write, you just like, you put yourself in a place and you write it out as you're like imagining it. Like, how does that work?
Yeah, I mean it's it's weird, man. Like, I get super invested in the characters, and sometimes like me and my writing partner could sit down and like when you get in a flow, it's almost like it starts writing itself.
Yeah.
And like you start writing on a page and like you don't sometimes not really sure where it comes from. It's like, this is the dialogue.
Right, yeah.
This is the conversation they're having.
Yeah.
And then it's like, why did you write that? And you're like, I
just had a whole imaginary conversation. Yeah.
I was like, I don't know, man. I was in the scene and that's what they were saying.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, exactly. Isn't that crazy how that works?
Yeah. And you're just diving into it. And really, it's just reading books. Like, I still have all my screenwriting books on that shelf from college.
Oh, shit.
Really, it's just reading books and getting started and fucking getting the first 10 pages done,
Yeah, just getting into it, huh?
That's what the first few screenwriting classes I took were. It's like, you write 5 pages, write a 5-page story.
Yeah.
And go from there.
Yeah. Just get into it. Next thing you know, you have a whole fucking movie ahead of you.
And it's the basics. It's learning the structure is like write Think of a short story that happened in your childhood and turn it into 5 pages.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Because it's a story you already know. You don't have to make up anything.
Yeah.
You're just learning the structure of how to put it on a page.
Yeah. That makes sense. I'll try doing that.
Yeah, and then you just
It's a good
go
way
from
to get
there.
into it. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like once you have the format down, then it becomes easy. I would imagine you're just
absolutely. The biggest thing is learning
writing out
the
a movie.
flow and the format first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, hey, I mean, I can't wait to see one of your movies.
Hey man, maybe one day. I would love to shoot like short movies and like get into that stuff. But
Yeah.
like, that's like if I had to describe like my ultimate goal in life would be like own a movie studio.
Yeah.
Own a warehouse where I could shoot shit.
Film. Yeah.
And be financially independent and make stuff. And
Yeah.
like whether that's podcasts, whether it's YouTube videos, whether
Sketches,
it's
things like that, yeah.
TikTok shit,
Yeah.
whether it's Oscar-winning movies.
Have a recording space, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, be like Adam Sandler, be like these dudes who own their own production companies and do
Yeah.
their own fucking shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You just need to buy a warehouse or something.
Yeah, I need a couple million first, probably.
Yeah, set up. So your first movie.
Yeah,
Or what?
maybe Bitcoin takes off a little bit. We'll get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. What's like your ultimate goal in life? Like, what's like the ultimate like? I'm Kam Sneed. I fucking succeeded.
Ultimately.
Well, that's your beer, by the way.
Oh yeah, thank you.
You can get a colder one if you want.
Just being able to like ultimately it would be to where I'm like a name in comedy, you know what I mean? To where I can like travel
Yeah.
and headline places and just get paid to do that and like have, enough of a following to where it's like I can just travel around and just do comedy everywhere.
Yeah.
But, if I also would be super happy and completely content if I was able to just like quit my day job because I'm making enough off of comedy,
Yeah.
Like if I'm able to get by off of doing what I love, that I'm perfectly fine with that too.
Yeah.
But if I'm being ultimate, like bigger, I would love to just have, be like all out, having my own shit going on.
Yeah.
But really just traveling, doing comedy, like I like to get into a lot of things.
Comedian.
But yeah. Yeah, pretty
And having
much.
the freedom from comedy to do other things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I mean, comedy really is only like a weekend job, Like you have Thursday, it's like a Thursday through Saturday kind of thing, and come back on a Sunday, and then the rest of the time can just be spent towards other
Podcasting
creative
and
shit. Yeah, like that sounds amazing.
Yeah, it does for sure, man.
So,
yeah, I mean that would be the ultimate for me if I could monetize a podcast and have that take over my income.
Yeah,
and then focus on comedy and writing and other shit in my free time for sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, which I mean, it's kind of crazy, like the perspective of it. It's like, what a dream, to be able to be like, yeah, I'm just gonna make money off of like, my thoughts,
Some
like,
yeah,
just my ideas. Like it feels kind of like weird, like it's a very like American idea, just be like, yeah, I'm just gonna make millions off of my stupid brain, but
yeah.
Hey, if it's there, I'm here to chase it,
Yeah, absolutely.
I think I can do it.
You can definitely do it.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people can do it. I think a lot of it is putting in the time and effort and accepting that it's not going to be immediate.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I think it's like that with anything, you just got to put in the work.
Yeah. I think a lot of people get these like pie in the sky dreams about things, and then it gets too daunting.
Yeah.
And it's like the way I accepted it with screenwriting. It's like, reading about other people like helps put it into perspective for me. Like Seth Rogen wrote Superbad when he was in high school. He sold it, 13 years later or 14 years later or whatever.
That's crazy. I didn't know that. Yeah.
So it's like, well, that was his like first big hit that he sold.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it,
look at him now.
It just sat on his computer for over a decade.
Fuck.
So what's the big deal if mine sit on my computer for over a decade?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's the type of shit where I've like just accepted like I wrote that movie. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah, yeah, it still has just
It's
as much
mine.
potential
It's
as
my
it always
intellectual
did.
property. You know?
Yeah.
It's like, but it's like maybe one day it'll be a movie.
Yeah,
Maybe not.
yeah.
It's like maybe some of these
As
jokes
long as
I
you
wrote.
keep putting it out there, you know, you have something's got to sell.
Yeah, yeah. For me, it's just like a struggle because I like so many different things.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
it's
know.
like I can't just get like 100% invested in comedy.
Yeah.
I can't get 100% invested in screenwriting. And if I did, I feel like I'd go insane, honestly.
You think so?
Just because
even with your obsessive personality.
yeah, just because I have so many things like that I like doing.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want to like let go of podcasting,
Yeah.
you know, to focus on something else. It's like I just want to find a balance with a lot of it.
Keep your hand in all the baskets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And figure out what I like doing the most.
Yeah. So you don't know yet? You don't know, like, you don't have like a sense of like what's like, I mean, obviously people can have multiple interests and things, but I feel like everyone has like one thing that's their thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So do you feel like you have that yet, or are you still trying to like, you don't know?
I mean, I feel like I would like lean towards comedy for sure.
Yeah.
Like I said, like the feeling of being on stage, like I feel like it's where I belong.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, how many fucking comedians turn into fucking, you know, movie producers or huge actors and like, you know, all this different stuff. So
Yeah.
I feel like for me, it's like another tool in my basket of like.
For sure. Yeah. Like, yeah. And I'm sure it helps with all the, like, it helps writing with jokes and everything, like all the, you know, what you went to college for, like it, I'm sure that helped with the process too.
I think screenwriting helped me write my first set of jokes for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Because I feel like for a lot of people, that's the biggest struggle when they're starting out comedy is just figuring out how to write a joke, you know?
Yeah.
But if you already know how to write, then that gives you a huge advantage.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, it's like I feel like I just want all of it to be like a natural progression of me. Like, yeah, I'm a podcaster. Yeah, I'm a comedian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've written some screenplays too.
Yeah, to do it all.
And screenwriting's never going to be like a full-time thing. And I used to want it to be, and I accepted that it won't be.
No?
And I accepted that, like, I used to want to be a TV writer. I've accepted that that's not a lifestyle that I'm even remotely interested in.
Okay.
You know, if I got contracted to write a TV show or some episodes, I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
But sitting in a writing room with a bunch of fucking jackasses that I might not get along with,
yeah,
it's not for me. Like, I want to write what I want to write. I don't want to be on like a team of writers that we all got picked by this fucking other dude.
Yeah.
To like write this shitty show that maybe I'm not that invested in. Like, just from what I've read and stuff, like TV writers don't have the greatest fucking like times, you know?
Yeah, it's like a lot of pressure, and there's probably just a lot of forced.
And a lot of them work on shit they don't want to work on.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, this is just my job.
Right,
And
yeah.
I don't want it to
take
be...
the fun out of it, the love out of it, yeah.
I don't want it to be like that point where I'm like, I just do this for money.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. I want to do other shit for money, and I want to focus on creative shit that I want to do.
Yeah.
And then eventually the creative shit will turn into money, hopefully.
Yeah, ideally. Yeah, but it sounds like you basically have to just kind of pave your own way to doing that, you know?
Yeah.
Or you just find a project that you like fully support that you would be willing to hop on, but it sounds like it's more like, you know, you want to be the guy. You know, it's your movie.
Yeah, dude.
It's my writer's room.
But I feel like that's how a lot of comedians are, right? Like, it's like I just want to do my thing. Like, I want to do my comedy. Like, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's interesting, man. Like, it's like I just want to be well-rounded, and I don't know.
Yeah, it sounds like you are. That's good. I wish I had more going for me. I can't. I told you I gotta go to community college to learn how to sing, bro.
Dude. Yeah, but that's the same thing, man.
I mean, could act though. Maybe
we're talking about me doing podcasting and like screenwriting and stuff. Like, you're talking about following that same path of like, like
just
comedy will be your main thing.
Yeah.
But you'll be like, yeah, I just came from fucking dance class.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like you're pursuing other shit outside of comedy.
Yeah.
Like, you might not want to be a paid dancer.
Right, yeah.
But you're learning the skill set.
Have that, yeah.
You know?
And it's mostly, I mean, for me, it's mostly just to have that, to give you that, like, advantage just as far as being a entertainer, you know?
Right.
Like, think about people like Jamie Foxx, you know, like how he's just fucking killing it. Like he knows how to sing. He's in like so many great movies. He's not the best actor, but he's like in a lot of good movies.
Well, and he's also a comedian.
Yeah, and I think he started out as a comic, you know.
Yeah.
But he was also like he was also singing during his stand-up sets and stuff. Like he was just like very obvious that he's a talented person, you know? So I'm just trying to be a talented person.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the type of shit I think about too. It's like, why can't, you know, why is it not okay to be more like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like, would you dismiss Jamie Foxx's comedy career because he's not actively going out to clubs currently? Or did you be like, yeah, dude, he was a pretty great stand-up.
Yeah.
And he still is a stand-up. Like, you can't take it away from him. His comedy specials and shit out there. Even though he hasn't done it for 20 fucking years.
I kind of would, though. See,
but,
I do kind of, though. Like, I don't even... Now, if you're like... I'd be like, oh, yeah, Jamie Foxx, the actor, you know? I'm not like, oh, Jamie Foxx, the stand-up. Like, he's not really, like... He did stand-up, but
there's probably people out there who got introduced to Jamie Foxx as a comedian.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, but a lot of people get into stand-up just to get into the entertainment industry.
For sure.
Know, like, it's like their easiest way to, like, get into movies or whatever. Like,
for sure.
Especially out in L.A., like, you just started.
Well, back in L.A., it was designed around that, right? Like, people go to the comedy store to try to find an actor for a TV show.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Jim Carrey.
A personality. Yeah, you just have to have a personality.
Yeah. Yeah, stand-up's one of those interesting things because it's like so many people like get into it and get out of it. Mm-hmm. Some people are long-time lifers where they're just stand-ups.
Yeah.
You know?
That's like the difference, at least from what I've heard, from what I've observed, between like the LA comedy scene and the New York comedy scene. At least like before, I don't know how things are now, but in New York, like comics in New York are like comics. Like that's just pretty much all they do. But they also aren't making very much money because it's just comedy, you know? But everyone out in LA, they're also acting and they're fucking, you know, doing podcasts, and it's a bunch of, like, they're doing a bunch of things because that's just what you do in LA, you know, there's just so much going on. But in New York, you're either in like theater or comedy or, you know, it's like whatever you're in, that's pretty much all you're doing out there in New York.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting to see the differences in people's approaches.
Yeah. It's interesting to me to see how these people all make livings.
Yeah.
You know, like podcasting became like the main source of income for so many comedians.
Yeah, because it's it can be a little more reliable, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, and I'm
sure
it's
more easily
they make a lot more money doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, some of these smaller comedians, like there's a lot of comedians I know out there, and I mean, they're on Netflix, they're on comedy specials, but I mean, they don't seem to be like that well off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like as far as, you know, having a fucking... it's hard to say Joe Rogan money because now he's like a zillionaire. Yeah,
but they're not like balling. Like not everyone's super famous like a Kevin Hart or a fucking
right.
You know, like
like I was just listening to Annie Letterman on Joe Rogan the other day talking about how like she's struggling to get out of her apartment and like pay the fee to like just get out of there.
Oh really?
And I'm like, man, I would have expected like you just had the money to do that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, you think they're just like rolling in dough just because they're, you know.
And she was telling Joe like she'd like to buy a Tesla when she makes more money.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, when I become a baller like you, I'll buy a Tesla.
Yeah.
And I, like in my head, I was like, oh, I just assumed you could afford.
You already
one.
had a exactly, yeah.
You know?
I know. Yeah, that's the thing that's kind of scary too. Is it's like there's so many different tiers in comedy where you can really like. It takes a lot to get to a point where you're really making like money
like
off of comedy. You know, like you kind of have to be doing other shit in order to. You have to be in movies or something else. You know, like
right.
Unless I can't think of anyone really who's just doing comedy and
making it.
Yeah. Well, except like maybe like an Anthony Jeselnik or like there's some, I don't know if you,
I mean, he has
some people like
huge TV show, you know.
Yeah.
Anthony Jeselnik Offensive, and then another one after that.
He's doing some TV stuff. Yeah, that's true. But at least he's still like, you know, like that's okay. Like you're writing, you know, like for like if you're writing for a sketch show or something, it's still like visual comedy. Yeah. You know, but it's like he was like ever on a TV show.
And
like
guys
acting.
like Daniel Tosh came up in stand-up comedy. And got a huge Comedy Central deal.
Yeah,
and I don't know if he does really stand-up a whole lot anymore.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing now. He doesn't have a TV show anymore, right?
I thought he does. Isn't it still on Comedy Central?
Tosh
0?
I don't... Is it?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
I
Is he
don't know.
just like super comfortable with Comedy Central right now, just chilling?
Well, that's what like I've heard on podcasts. People talk about him, and they're like,
And
as soon as he got on. Oh, it literally ended November 24th last year.
Oh shit!
After 12 seasons.
R.I.P.
That's
shit. He's probably doing comedy now.
New news. But I feel like we're entering this like new paradigm of like the future of like you have to be like multifaceted. You have to be like
just to compete.
Kind of a business mindset, like you know, in like
a lot of people are just doing their own things. You know, they're skipping like the middleman as far as like agents or whatever.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people are just setting up their own YouTube channels.
People are releasing stand-up specials on YouTube.
Yeah,
and shit,
exactly. Yeah,
you know?
It's kind of the new wave. Like you kind of have to learn everything so you can just do it yourself.
Right. Yeah. It's fascinating.
Yeah. So. I'm gonna need your help. I'm probably gonna need your help because I've never even owned a laptop really, so I'm not good with this computer stuff, and I could also use your help learning how to write screenplays, and you know,
dude, I'm happy.
I want to get into sketches
that.
and stuff. I think we could. I want to get a little writing group together.
I would love to write some sketches.
Yeah,
I would really. You know Bubba's like Vibe Cop gear and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Shout out Bubba.
Yeah. After I talked to him about that and got some of his Vibe Cop shit, I got super high and just went on this whole tangent in my head about Vibe Cop sketches.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And how like you know, like you call a Vibe Cop when like the vibe's off at a party, and like it's a dude like Bubba who shows up in like a fucking tie-dye shirt and he's like, "What's up, baby?" like he has some drugs, like, you know, like so like,
you to check vibes.
Yeah, exactly. Or like he'll like remove people from the party that are like killing the vibe, you know, like, "Hey man, you gotta get the fuck out of here." Like,
he like comes with a flashlight and then starts blinking it like it's a party.
Yeah.
Like, here to up the
shows
vibe.
up to like a kid's birthday party and it's immediately better. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I just went on this whole tangent in my head about Vibe Cop sketches and like how fun that would be to make and film them.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah, that sounds hilarious.
Yeah, right, dude. Yeah, I would love to make some stuff like that.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Yeah, I'm trying to like, because it's like I said, like there's just a lot of jokes that are better visually, like when you can really like lay it out and film it, you know.
Yeah.
It just so I want to try and get into sketches. Plus, it's an easy way to like boost, you know, like views on the internet and stuff. Like it's kind of the new wave is everything is just.
Oh, for sure.
Like it's a easy way to get jokes in is through a sketch, you know.
Dude, and that's the thing too, man. I mean, fuck. You could blow up on TikTok faster than you ever blow up on stage. I don't know what that's worth, but you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I mean, I
don't know how that TikTok works.
There's people who get 100,000 followers on TikTok and like they're just making money and like fucking.
Yeah.
It's like an overnight success.
Yeah. The internet's definitely changed things too. It's like, man, sometimes it really doesn't take that much.
Right? Yeah.
Like, why am I trying so hard? Fuck. Just go get fucked up and record everything, you know?
Right? That's the type of shit I feel like I struggle with, like a lot of people of like, what do I want to put my free time into?
Yeah.
Do I want to make a TikTok video? Like, I don't know if I can work on my stand-up. Like, I can work on a screenplay. Like, you know?
Yeah.
There's so many fucking avenues now that you could get into.
Yeah, I've never been very good on the internet, like the Instagram, social media stuff. I don't really use it a lot. I'm trying to get better, but
yeah,
it also helps to have content, you know.
Yeah,
so I'm just trying to get more videos and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been like recording any of your sets or anything on your phone or?
Yeah, I record them, but I'm also like very, very self-critical. So like it takes a lot for me to feel comfortable with like putting something out that I don't want to like. That I want to just leave up there, you know?
Yeah, that's fair.
So it's like trying to, because I'm just like, I feel like I don't want to put a joke out until I feel like it's close to being done-ish, you know? Or it's like, I don't know. I just, like I said, I overthink things and I'm very self-critical. So it's like, I need to just figure out a way to make something like funny and digestible and quit overthinking it.
Yeah. It's hard to do.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's just where it is. That's where it's at. Everyone's fucking on Instagram and all that shit. And that's where you make money. It's on the internet.
It's a fucking ever-changing landscape, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like the annoying shit to me, though. I feel like is like it's so far removed from like the reality of like interpersonal like mingling with people.
Yeah.
The internet and like how much anger and shit's online and like, you know.
Yeah.
How freely people feel like comfortable saying things to people online.
Yeah,
And
I
like,
know.
dude,
Yeah, they just let loose because they're safe behind their screen.
Yeah, because there's no filter. There's no you don't have to watch someone's face turn from, you know, fine to super angry. Like
Yeah.
the thing you write. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's so challenging to me of like, sometimes I'm like the old school mindset of like, yeah, the internet's not real, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's great.
Yeah.
You read people are upset about something, that means nothing.
Yeah, it's all, you'll forget about it by tomorrow, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like,
And then it's very fleeting.
things go viral, you know, people get canceled. I'm like, yeah, but no one's going to talk about that in 3 days.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
I know. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's like the Chris
People are pretty
D'Elia thing.
fickle. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, who cares about any of that anymore?
I don't know.
Like, you know, his
Yeah.
life got ruined and everything.
Yeah.
But it's like, does anyone care anymore? Like, if
Yeah,
you
it's just kind of these thing like you just kind of like talk. I don't know. I think it gets buried by the next person that fucking
right.
know.
Like the whole cancel culture generation is just like a whole fucking thing.
Yeah, it's kind of overwhelming.
Yeah.
But I don't think Chris D'Elia is really like doing much still. you know,
He brought his podcast back, and that's
Yeah.
I mean pretty much it.
probably just to make money.
I'm sure he's gonna have a hard time getting booked for a while.
He'll always have his following. You know, like I'm sure he'll still sell out places, but
He'll
it's
bounce
just he
back.
has to like lay low probably.
It'll be 3 or 4 years, just like Louis C.K. was.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If even that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
cancel culture is going to get, like, hyper. Like, it's going to be like, yeah, I was canceled last week, but I'm good now.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
we don't have to wait 4 years like Louis did anymore.
Yeah. Like, oh, that other guy, he kind of took the heat off me.
Right, dude?
There'll be someone else.
I know.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not like, by the way, it's not like when I saw Chris D'Elia, I was like, oh, I want to be like Chris D'Elia, you know? Like, I'm not like a giant fan of Chris D'Elia.
I heard you say
I'm a big fan of him, but it's
there's
like,
a poster of him over your bed.
yeah.
And
It's like one day. I wonder that sometimes when I tell it, because it feels weird like attributing like my desire to do comedy to that, but it's
Yeah.
like that's kind of when it all clicked for me. It just really was like it just all was like that feeling, like the feeling that was going on in the theater or whatever, like all those people laughing. It was like, damn, it would be cool to be able to do that. Like,
Yeah.
every night, like if that's just your job,
Yeah.
is to like bring fucking laughter and joy to all these people like uncontrollably, like, you know, it's just a good time. Who doesn't like a good time? You know?
Yeah.
If anything, why can't I just spend my whole life trying to create a good time for people, you know? Like that
You
just
can.
sounds, yeah, why? I
Yeah.
would love that.
Yeah. I mean, that's the mindset I've had on all the shit I do. Podcasting, writing movies, whatever. It's all, to me, it's,
Yeah, it's entertainment. It's
I like
yeah.
entertaining people.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so I guess that's really when that moment clicked. It was like and he just made it seem so easy. I was like, all right, well,
Yeah.
here we go.
Yeah, I mean, Chris D'Elia is an interesting one now, but I mean, you
Yeah.
told people that 3 years ago. People were like, "Oh, that's
Yeah,
pretty
right.
cool, man."
Yeah,
I
right.
like Chris D'Elia a lot. You
I
know,
I was like, it's
he's
kinda
my favorite guest on Fire and the Kid.
Oh, I love Chris D'Elia.
Yeah,
I know.
you know?
Yeah, it is kind of weird to say now, but yeah, I'm more of a Louis C.K. fan anyway. So.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, who are you
Yeah.
like big fans of, like comedy wise? Like, what's your style? What's the shit you get
I like
into?
a lot. I try to not watch too much because I'll notice myself like copying their style or whatever, you know. Like when I was first starting, I was very Jeselnicki, you know, like
Yeah.
Anthony Jeselnik. I'm a big fan of his, but him. I like a lot of one-liner comedians, you know,
Okay.
and kind of like I want to be able to tell that you wrote out what you're saying. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I want you to cut out all the bullshit. I don't want fillers. I want just like I want to feel like you're cramming in as many jokes as you can. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You're not just trying to fill time.
Yeah,
So it's just people like that, you know, like I can't think of the other one-liner comedian he's dead now, but he's I like Mitch Hedberg. Mitch Hedberg, I'm a big fan of his.
Okay.
Yeah, I love him. And and then I can't think of the other guy I'm thinking of, but I just like writers. I feel like you can tell, like when someone's constantly trying to evolve their jokes and they're developing it, and I don't really like. I mean, some storytelling comedians are fun, but it's just like there's a lot of dead space. I feel like.
Yeah.
So that's just my preference.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you there. I really enjoy watching like people like Tom Segura.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, he's a straight storyteller.
Yeah.
And I mean, sometimes I'm for sure like, I don't really care about this story. It's not like a joke that makes me like, oh, like, right. You fucking got me with that one, dude. Like, yeah, I love Anthony Jeselnik. Daniel Tosh. I've seen Daniel Tosh stand up like 4 times.
Yeah.
He used to travel to NAU and do college tours.
Oh, okay.
And like the height of like Tosh.0 back in the day, he'd do college tours every summer.
Yeah.
So he'd come to
I
NAU.
bet that was fucking...
It was awesome.
This shit, huh? Yeah.
Yeah. Any stand-up comedian that came there, when I was at NAU in college, I went and saw him. So I saw Nick Swartzen. I saw Daniel Tosh. I saw like, I don't know, a couple others. I saw Key and Peele when they came there.
Wow.
So yeah, I've always been like, even before I was trying to do stand-up, I was always super into stand-up.
Right.
Like, comedy.
Yeah.
Which I feel like also makes it interesting trying to do stand-up now.
Yeah.
It's like...
being a consumer still.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like what I said. Like, even listening to people's podcasts sometimes, like, I'll catch myself almost like writing a joke off of something they said, and I'll be like, that's kind of like derivative, like it's like just like or even like how I say things sometimes. If I'm listening to a podcast a lot, like it's just how my brain works sometimes, like, so I kind of have to take breaks and not really consume a lot, otherwise I feel like whatever I'm trying to do becomes disingenuous.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Might be overthinking it, but
yeah,
it's just I've seen it happen before, Like, I'll be watching myself and like, oh, I kind of sound like fucking, it's like, I don't want to do that. I want to try and be original, find my voice.
Well, and I think it's different for every comedian, right? Like, some comedians could sit in the back of the room and watch every stand-up go on stage.
Yeah, yeah.
And then some comedians are like, I can't listen to a single fucking word.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just like, it's just different for everyone. Like, Anthony Jeselnik, I know he said in some interviews, he's like, I don't watch any comedy.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
He's like, there's like 2 people I watch and that's it.
Yeah. It is hard. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. A lot of people will like, or when people come up and ask like, oh, what'd you think of like my joke or whatever, like, or just talking about their jokes. It's like, I don't really like if I'm there, I'm listening, but I'm not really like there like soaking in other, because I hear comedy every day so much that it's just like kind of goes in and out. Like, it's hard for a joke to really, really stick with me. Even if I'm going to see, someone bigger, it's just like I just see it so much that nothing really sticks anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting when you get into something how much you like struggle to continue being a fan.
Yeah.
When you're involved in it.
Yeah.
Because it changes.
'Cause you're like overindulging almost.
That changed for me studying how reality TV shows were made in college.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was always super into reality TV shows like Survivor, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like learning like the ins and outs and like the aspects, like the behind the scenes
keeping
stuff.
it entertaining.
It just kind of ruined it for me.
Yeah, because you like know what game they're playing.
I was like, oh, so they don't get sunburns because they all have like sunscreen. They have like breaks. Like they have tents.
Oh.
They have like tents they sit under. Like there's producers on the island with them. Like there's like,
right, yeah.
You never really see them going to the bathroom because there's some porta potties.
Yeah, so it's
in
like
the distance.
Not
like,
as crazy as they're making it look.
Yeah, the women still get female products and like
yeah.
Stuff like that like, you don't really think about. They're on an island that's not a deserted island. There's actually a resort.
It's a set-up island, yeah.
10 miles east of them, there's a resort with people on the beach. Like, it's not like they're,
yeah.
in trouble.
Like, they actually got stuck, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, aspects like that, I was like, oh. Like, I was like, oh, shit. Like, makes a lot of sense. Or the fact that, in Survivor, they have tribal council where they vote people out. And that takes like 10 hours to film. That like whole sit down thing that they do? It's like 10 minutes of the show.
Fuck. Why does it take so long?
Just because it's like interviewing each person individually, doing the group stuff,
And then
editing stuff when people say dumb answers, like coaching them on answering something properly, like redoing.
Oh, so it's very fixed.
Yeah.
Like there's like
redoing the same question 4 times so you can film it from different angles, like, you know, just shit like that.
Shit. Yeah.
Like that, filming them walking in and out takes 30 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
You know, picking
All right,
up,
can we run that back? Yeah, have them do it again. And
well, and like the little shit you don't think of like, oh, go pick up your tiki torches and walk out with them. Someone fucking drops one, so you have to redo it.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like it's not as natural as you think. It's not like just bunch of hidden cameras on an island.
Yeah.
It's like all set up from the beginning, huh?
Yeah. It's the same thing with like shooting a movie. It's like, oh, they shot that one scene 18 fucking times.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, it's painstaking.
Yeah. But I mean, it probably wouldn't have made it this far if they just filmed all their like natural shit, you know?
Right.
It was just a bunch of boring people on an island
But that's
fucking
why it's
up and
perfect and entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
polished it all out. So that's the interesting like thing getting into comedy too. Is like now when I watch stand up or I go to a show, like I get a little in my head, I'm like, oh, how did they write this?
Yeah.
Like, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, you're like watching it from a different perspective altogether.
Yeah. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh, how many times have they said that joke before? Like,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. You feel like you kind of pick up on when someone's just riffing or when you're like, oh, what's going on here? You know?
For sure.
Yeah.
Like the little nuances
Yeah.
of like the jokes. Yeah.
It's fun to watch though. I still like going to live shows, like bigger live shows. I always enjoy that, you know.
Yeah.
But even podcasts, I have to be in the mood for, you know.
Yeah.
All that stuff. I kind of just listen to a lot of music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what you like? What do you like spend most of your free time outside of comedy doing?
Nothing really. I really just like work and then do open mics and everything in between is just like hanging out with random people, like whatever I'm invited to or whatever. But
yeah,
really all I do is just my day job and then comedy.
Diving hard into
yeah, if there's an open
mics.
mic, I'm gonna go there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a show or whatever, or sleep. Other than that, I'm just gonna try and catch up on sleep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
I'm always out here doing the most, you know.
Yeah, just balls deep into comedy.
Yeah, because I mean, it's kind of one of those things. Like I recognize early on that it's very easy to slip out of it. Like people, like a lot of people start gung ho, but then you know after a couple years or whatever, they lose their fire, and your consistency starts to wane, and next thing you know, you're just one of those guys who used to, you know, be in the scene.
You used to do stand up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I told myself early on that I like need to commit to this. Like I'm not gonna let you know a job get in the way. I'm not gonna let a girl get in the way. Like I'm like about this, you know.
Yeah.
I just need to stay on it. So it's going all right so far.
Good for you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say it's going pretty well.
Yeah. Thanks. I'm trying.
Yeah, man.
Just trying to be funny.
I mean, it's kind of how it has to be sometimes, you know. It's like it is very easy to get pulled away from things.
Yeah.
It's very easy.
You just gotta fucking have a kid or go, you know, buy a house or I don't know.
It's very easy on a Tuesday night to be like, yeah, I'm not gonna go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't feel like it, you know.
Right.
It's one of those things. I mean, how many times have you had that with like anything else? It's just like, are you really about this? Are you really into it? Because these are those moments when you don't feel like doing something, you still kind of just have to
go.
Yep, you got to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because then next thing you know, like it becomes easier and easier to drop it and be like, oh, I'm not gonna go. Next thing you know, you don't even care anymore.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I got like a food poisoning last week. Monday night, like Tuesday. Just at dinner, like I was just sitting there with my wife, and I was like, I think I gotta go throw up in the bathroom, dude.
Shit, like it was at the restaurant when it hit you still?
Yeah, well, I was kind of feeling shitty Monday, and I didn't really feel like eating like at the restaurant. So it wasn't anything I ate at the restaurant.
Oh, you
were
already.
Yeah. I was like going downhill all day.
Yeah,
and then I left my house, went to the restaurant, and I was like, I'm not doing great, dude. Like this was not a good choice.
Yeah.
And I had some alcohol there. And I think that, like, really did it for me. I was like, I gotta go fucking throw up. And then I was just throwing up for, like, 2 days straight.
Oh, fuck.
Like, till Wednesday. And I was supposed to be at Bridget's on Tuesday night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I was dying all day just in my head. I was like, how the fuck? I can't cancel this fucking comedy show, man. I was like, I gotta fucking do it. Like, I gotta do it in my head all day.
Yeah.
And then just laying in bed being sick all day and shit, I was like, I can't fucking go.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I gotta be realistic about this. Like, you can't do it, dude.
Yeah.
And it just killed me. I was like, I got it, like, because I got it in my head, you know? I'm like, you can't ever fucking cancel a show. The show must go on. Like,
Yeah.
fucking do the mics, do the time. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And in my head, I'm like, I could get out there and fucking hold that mic for 7 fucking minutes, dude. Like, I could fucking do it. Like, you know? But,
just
like,
up there like,
I would have been dying.
Fuck, yeah.
I would have been dying if I went. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, like, I have that, like I said, I'm super obsessive. So it's like when I have, like, a mic to do or a book show or something, I'm like, I'm fucking there.
You gotta,
fucking
yeah,
like,
commit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that. But, yeah, sometimes your body's just like, it's not happening, bro.
Yeah. I don't think I ever got food poisoning before in my entire life that
Yeah.
I can remember. You know, like legit food poisoning where it's like 48 hours and it was done.
Yeah, that sounds scary. That sounds like a whole fucking like thing.
And then Wednesday night I was like, I was okay. And then Thursday I was like rehydrating, like feeling a little better. you know? But like it ruined my whole fucking week. And just ruined my whole comedy week. I was like, motherfucker, dude.
Yeah.
Like I was like, Jesus fuck.
Shit.
Yeah. But now this week I'm like, I gotta make up for last week.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I gotta go out every fucking
Careful
night.
what you eat. And,
Gotta go out every night this week, you know?
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you, it's been like a while. I feel like we're at a good stopping point, but there's one thing I wanted to ask you. We're at 2.5 hours already, dude.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Wow, we covered a lot.
Flies by, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's one other thing I was gonna ask you is how you ended up at the Moreland House. Is that how you pronounce it?
Oh yeah. The Moreland House.
Moreland House.
Moreland House. Yeah, it's shout out to the Moreland House. We've been throwing a lot of events there. We had just had the Festival of Destiny Volume 2.
Yeah.
On Friday. On Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. I was just I was like, how I ended up there. I was moving out, but I was like procrastinated about finding a new place, and so Dustin Hadlock, shout out to Dustin. He had like told me that he was moving to that house around the same time.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, there's gonna be an extra room, like you move in there. And it was like on the day that I was supposed to move out from my old place, and I didn't really have anything else planned, so I was like, all right, fuck it. At least it's somewhere to stay, you know, for now.
Yeah.
And then I moved, and then Dustin ended up living there, and like it ended up being this whole like kind of cool like community thing, like throwing a bunch of shows there, and it's been interesting. It's kind of has like a hippie commune vibe to it, but it's it's a lot of fun. It's been like really cool having like all these super cool bands and comics and shows and karaoke and like everything going on like right in my backyard, you know. Like,
yeah.
And it's been a lot of fun. It's definitely it's different. It's different than what I was doing, you know, where it's like in a house in North Phoenix where it's super quiet, and now it's like downtown, and the house downtown, there's a bunch of characters around, and there's always people coming and going, and there's shows, and there's just a lot of activity. But I think it's been kind of good for my like creativity, and it's it's been fun,
like fully absorbed in it.
But yeah, it's a good venue. It has a lot of potential. It's just a matter of time, you know, trying to build things. And
has that been any issues there, like throwing shit in the backyard?
Yeah, kind of just like I mean, there's been like creative differences and things like people like between people at the house, like putting on the shows and stuff.
I was thinking more like cops, noise complaints and stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean there's that too a little bit, but it hasn't really been that bad. Like cops just come and ask you to turn it down, but thankfully the neighbors seem to kind of be like supportive of the events we've been having there.
That's cool.
But then
a little infighting in the group though, a little
a little bit, just kind of like
how many people are there? How many people live there? How many people are involved?
I'd say like 4.
Okay.
Yeah, like there's like as far as people living at the house, there's 4, but there's just like a lot of coming and going. There's like people who are just like, it's very like friendly. Like there's just a bunch of people who hang out. Like it's like there's always people hanging out in the backyard. We got a bus back there, but yeah, Dustin's been putting on a lot of shows, and then another roommate there was doing like karaoke there and stuff, and it's been fun. It's just a matter of trying to make sure that, you know, no one gets on each other's nerves. You know, it's just how people are.
It's always how it is with roommates in general, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Especially when you're trying to like do something together, you know, like anything that's that way. Any project that you have, you got to make sure that the people you're doing it with, like, you kind of fuck with them, you know.
Creative differences are huge, man.
Yeah. Because it's just so many things. I mean, it's almost the same as fucking having a kid together, you know. Like, you have these two combating, like, you were raised different than your wife, you know. But if you're trying to raise a kid, you guys have this different idea of how this is supposed to go. It's kind of like that with anything, really. It's just creating a meeting of the minds,
symbiosis.
Yeah. So that's why, like, if when you find someone that you really gel with, like, it's special. Like, you really got to try and hang on to that, because
absolutely
you go somewhere with it.
Yeah. It's interesting how rare that is to find, and then when you do find it, it's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, me and my writing partner, who we've written all my shit with. I mean, now we've known each other for 10 years. And,
yeah.
And, like, the first few years, it was a struggle. Like, communicating, scheduling time to work on stuff.
Yep.
I mean, just basic life in general differences. I mean, we met when I was, I'm 29 now. We met when I was 19.
Oh, okay.
He's 8 or 9 years older than me. So,
yeah.
I mean, he was already, a 30-year-old dude.
Yeah. You were 19?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we met in college, yeah. And maybe 20. But yeah, I mean, we worked really hard to, like, grow our, like, creative partnership together.
Yeah. Like, you had to, like, stick with it, like, go through some rough patches, I'm sure, you know.
Yeah. And now he's the type of guy, like, I'd trust with anything. Like,
yeah.
Personal and professional. Like,
Yeah.
I could ask him to fucking watch my dog on the weekend. Like, I could ask him for advice, marriage advice.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, he's a homie. Like, fucking 10 years, that's a long time.
And I could work on him with anything. Like, send him something I wrote. Like, send him jokes, whatever the fuck. Like,
that's awesome. That's so cool to have that.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's so rare to find that with people. And
yeah.
Like, so long way of saying I agree.
Yeah.
You gotta hold on to that shit, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, and honestly, that's why I'm kind of bummed out. Like, that's how I felt when I was doing that podcast with Sam, like Crash Dummies. Like, we had a good gel together, and, like, I could tell that, like, the podcast was good. Like, it had a lot of potential, considering we only did, like, maybe 30 episodes or something. But, like, I could tell it could have gone somewhere if we kept going with it. But it's one of those things, you just have to partner up with someone who's as committed as you are. Because you have to be willing to, like, go the distance, and eventually these things will pan out. But it's like anything else, you just got to grind it out. You got to be patient. You can't have it immediately.
Right.
So you gotta figure it out.
Yeah, man. And it's like small nuances. Like, something I learned, like, early on with him is, like, I got to stop saying I when I say stuff. Like, it's like, we wrote screenplays.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I didn't write them.
Yeah.
It's like, we wrote the screenplays.
Yeah.
Like, I was writing some emails, to people. I got a shout out on, like, John Jay and Rich one day, because I, like, sent John Jay this thing about, like, his fucking sister is, like, a TV producer in California.
Oh, okay.
So I sent him this long email about, like, hey, man, could you, like, fucking help me out? Send my shit to your sister type of thing.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And, like, the way I wrote the email was, like, I'm a screenwriter from, Arizona, blah, blah, blah. Like, and my writing partner was like, dude, this whole thing was about you. And I was like, I didn't get it at first,
Right,
and
yeah.
like,
you weren't talking, like, as a representative of, like, you guys together. You
right.
Were like, yeah.
Like, it was, like, an introduction of me and, like, my screenplay.
Yeah, but the work you were talking about was, like, both of you guys.
Was ours.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like, he's like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? And it was, like, the first time I had ever, like, thought about, like, I'm like, fuck, dude, like, we're a we. Like, we're a partnership here. Like, we're, like,
Yeah.
And, like, ever since that conversation, like, that never happened again. And, like, it's, like, it changed my whole perspective about, like, what we were doing.
Yeah, and then you build from there, because it's like, that's exactly what needs to happen, You have that conversation, and you're like, hey, man, you're right. And then that's what allows that relationship to keep building, and it builds off of that, like, that honesty and openness and your willingness to be able to adjust, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's
And he could have
what
totally
creates-
been like, fuck you, dude.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like,
What the fuck is this? Yeah.
could have totally been
Doing his
like,
own thing,
don't talk
taking
to
it
me
super
anymore, bro.
personal. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, see, that's the thing too. Is it's hard to manage personalities. Like, there's a lot of people who are just so caught up in their own world, their own ego, that it's like you can't even work with them because it's just walking on eggshells, you know.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to like, you know, something you're creating, because it's so vulnerable. So any little criticism or anything, like, it could easily go south.
It's your baby, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And that's something I think film school helped me with a lot too, of like I feel like this weird progression for comedy for me is so strange because like I did so many things professionally and personally before I got into comedy.
Yeah.
But I feel like I figured out a lot of my life before I got into comedy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I feel like falling into comedy was like a natural thing that I could like envelop myself in because I had so much of my life already like figured out. And,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. That definitely
structured.
helps with the progression of things, like already knowing kind of who you are, you know, as a person,
Right.
like kind of which direction you want to go with things.
And
like,
that's how I know I can stick with comedy because I like my life's here. I'm not leaving Phoenix immediately. I'm not like nothing drastic's gonna happen that like I'm like I can't do comedy for a year and a half. Like you know what I mean? Like
unless you have a kid.
maybe,
You have a
but
kid?
that's something I've talked to my wife about extensively. You know, and I'm
Yeah.
like I will continue doing open mics when we have kids. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's something like I couldn't do without a great partner also.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
you know picking the right person to fucking live your life with.
Yeah. Good luck.
is a big one. I have no fucking idea where I was going with this train of thought on getting my life established before comedy. No fucking idea what I was gonna say.
Yeah. We were talking about partners and comedy.
No idea.
Yeah, you knew. Yeah, just how you kind of knew, like, who you were as a person when you got into comedy.
Yeah. But I was gonna say that starting with like screenwriting and stuff, like getting the aspect of taking constructive criticism personally, like I feel like I passed that when I was in college. Because I used to have to write things or film things and edit them.
Yeah.
And then get critiqued by my peers on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Like, we would write 5 pages of a screenplay and then read it to our group and then have to get feedback immediately.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you kind of have to build a callus to that.
Yeah, and like every week, and like everything I made, every video I ever made, everything I created in college, like creatively, was critiqued as fuck. Like, you know?
Fuck.
Down to like, you know.
Oh, man.
Why'd you leave that
pressure.
2 seconds of pause at the end of the video?
Oh, just like you're editing everything,
you know,
huh?
yeah, why'd you leave that word on that dialogue that doesn't make sense? Like, just like the littlest nitpicky shit.
Someone who just felt like they had to have something to say, huh?
Yeah. That I feel like is easy to get caught up on when you're like, fuck, man. Fucking picking on all my shit, dude.
Yeah,
like, you know, like it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and I feel like I got that out of the way, and now I'm in the mindset of like everything could always be better.
Right, yeah. You're just
like,
always trying to improve. Yeah.
Yeah. And like just take anything anyone says, anytime someone wants to be like, hey man, I had a thought on your joke, I'm like, fucking let's hear it, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, tell me. Don't wait, like let's hear it.
Yeah.
And it's like
be open, and
sometimes it's hard to embrace that.
Yeah.
It's hard to embrace like the creative difference.
Yeah. It's and that's why I feel like super thankful for comedy, because I feel like since I've hopped into it, it's like, as far as developing me as a person, it's been like a constant practice of like not really caring what other people think, you know? Because like when you're going out there and you're trying jokes and you're just saying these wild things or whatever, like you don't know what's gonna happen. You might think it's hilarious, but you're putting it out there for people to like pretty much judge, you know? And it's not like people can fake laughter, you know, like no one does that really, you know, like like, so you know if what you said works or not for the most part, but in order to do that, like you kind of just have to not take it so personally. Like you have to just be like, all right, I'm gonna put it out there, and whatever happens, like you can't take the good and you can't take the bad. You gotta just like be willing to put it out there and try to make it the best that you can. So it's like, which I think is huge for just me as a person, you know, being able to kind of be true to who I am and like express myself without fearing what other people are gonna think. You know?
Right.
I think everybody should work on that.
Absolutely. And it's, dude, sometimes it's the most challenging fucking thing
Yeah.
in the world, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that in itself could kill a lot of open micers on their first mic.
Yep.
Of like, hey, man, this really wasn't fun.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
this did
Just
not
feel like
go
shitty
well.
and fucking yeah.
And then they just don't come back.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know.
And sometimes it's nice to get that encouragement from, you know, an experienced person that's like, hey, man, just fucking stick with it. Like,
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, it'll be okay next time.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. Just that little push.
Yeah, man, it's challenging.
But I mean, shit. At the end of the day, comedy's kind of it's a single man's, or not a single man, but like it's just like a one person game. You know, like even you'll see it at open mics. Like a lot of people, there's a good, especially out here in the Phoenix scene. Like I think it's a pretty good supportive system. But
for sure,
at the end of the day, you can't really force anyone else to like hit open mics or whatever. Like and it's only up to you to go to mics too. Like you can't you can have a support system, but it's still it's all up to you, you know, to write, to perform. Like you're up there on that stage by yourself. So
I think that was one of the most intriguing things about it to me.
Yeah,
was that I'm like, it's just on me.
Yeah, like, exactly. Like you make friends and stuff, but it's not their responsibility to keep you, you know, working.
Yeah, it's like I gotta get on stage. I gotta be funny. I gotta get funny. Mm-hmm. Like I gotta be better. Like I think that was one of the most appealing things to me about comedy is like, yeah, I can do this on my own. I don't fucking rely on anyone.
Yeah, it's very individualistic.
Yeah, it's not the same as a podcast and waiting for a guest.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, a podcast and having a co-host and like scheduling and like all that bullshit. Like, you know, it's just like fucking, it's you, dude, and you can do as much of it as you want or as little of it as you want. Yeah. There's no one asking you to keep going or to stop. Yeah. Either way, you know. You can go out and do one mic a month if you want. Yeah. I've met a couple people like that, you know, that are like, oh yeah, just stop in every now and then, you know. Yeah. Like, oh, that's cool. Just popping in. If that's what you want to do, cool, man. Yeah. And then there's kids that fucking are out there 7 nights a week, every fucking night. Yeah. Well, it's always fun to watch and see what happens. Yeah. You know? We'll find out, man. I think this is a good spot to wrap this up. Yeah. We're at almost 3 hours now. I know. We went off. Man. Yeah, man. It was good. I hope you come back and do another one sometime. Oh, yeah. It was a lot of fun. Do you have any idea when this is going to come out? Or I mean, it could come out as soon as I wanted to. Okay. I'm waiting for Josh to send me new logos. And as soon as I get those, I'll post it. Oh, okay. Just because I would like them to have my new artwork on it. Yeah. I'm excited to see that. That'll be cool. Oh, I can show you what it looks like on my phone. Yeah. But yeah, I've been hoping to get back into podcasting for a while, and it's just now I'm into it, and I'm like, well, I got to take it full stage here on like, I need a new logo. I need to get shit properly scheduled, and I need to just get kind of like a season 2 like mindset of like my podcast. Of, like I'm starting season 2, I'm starting fresh. So that's my new logo. Oh shit, that's cool. A little hipster melting snowman. Who came up with that? Josh did. Dang. Well, like my original logo and the one that's online right now is a melting snowflake. And it was always like my thing of like Millennial Meltdown, like, you know, melting snowflakes that they call millennial snowflakes all the fucking time, you know. And I brought that up to him, and he's like, "Well, how about like a melting like hipster snowman?" And I was like, "I could dig that." That's creative, yeah. I was like, "Let's see how that looks," and then that's what he came up with. And I was like, "Well, instead of like a pipe in his mouth, let's do like a blunt." Yeah, fuck yeah. You know. So yeah, that's what we kind of came up with together, and I'm just waiting for him to send me the finished files. It's like, I mean, it's done. That's pretty much it, huh? I'm just waiting on the files. That's sick. Well, that's exciting. Yeah, it's gonna look good too on the cover. It's gonna be a whole crispy looking podcast. It'll look way better than my current one for sure. Yeah. So yeah, I'll get it out. Awesome. I mean, I'll definitely let you know so you can post it and
Yeah.
And everything. And
Sweet.
definitely, I mean, come back and do some more, man. I'd like to have people on more regularly. And
Yeah. I mean, anytime. I mean, shit, you bought me lunch. This is the best podcast I've ever been on, bro.
Shit, dude. All my secrets out there.
Yeah, you fucking won my heart easily.
Yeah, I always
right
try
away.
to feed people, dude. Ross Dinsdale came and did one, and like we had like spaghetti dinner my wife made and
Oh,
stuff.
wow,
and
that's cool.
Ross is like, "This is the shit," and I was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, dude. Like you came all the way. Least I can do is feed you. You know.
Yeah.
You have to come
Yeah.
at night. We'll do a
Yeah.
We'll do a
Get
dinner.
some spaghetti or enchilada night or something.
Yeah, man. I'd like to do some more groups too. So, I
A
mean,
whole party.
yeah. I mean, eventually when I get more regularly booked, I'd like to hey,
Yeah.
a couple of comics on the show. You want to come do a
Yeah.
podcast before the show type of shit?
Yeah.
So,
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah. Get Devontae in here.
yeah. Oh yeah, he's done one. He should have done two, but
Yeah.
I don't have to talk about that. But yeah, man. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Feel free to plug anything you want to plug before we go.
Yeah, that's I just want to shout out. I'm gonna be hosting for Daniel Bridgegad. He's starting like a show that he's gonna
Cool.
have on Wednesdays at House of Comedy. He's gonna have he has the DBG and Friends show. So the first one's gonna be on July 7th at House of Comedy over there in the Desert Ridge area.
Dope.
So it's his show, but I'll be hosting this first one, and he's gonna be like headlining it. So he's gonna be putting in a good time. But
Oh, sick.
even more important, like I said, I'll be hosting it. So
July 7th.
yeah,
House of
it's
Comedy?
a good time.
Cool.
I'm really excited about that show. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
That'll
And,
be legit.
I've been
man.
hosting a lot more. I like hosting, so
Yeah.
it'll be a good time.
You just hosted the Festival of Destiny too, right?
Yep.
That's dope.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, I like hosting. It's kind of fun because you're kind of like you feel like you're there with the audience. It's like, hey guys, you're trying to we're all on this together, you know? Like,
Yeah.
let's just have a good time.
Are you guys ready to have
I'm trying
fun?
to get
I'm
good at
ready to
that.
have fun.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
I think
And,
that's great, man.
Other than that, my Instagram is Kam_Sneed. Kam is spelled with a K. KAM_SNEED.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be on the episode too.
Yeah, I post all my shows and shit on there. So, and like I said, I'm trying to get better on the internet, trying to get better clips, and just build a following a little bit at a time.
Dope for sure, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to start bringing my camera and setting it up and getting some more professional video, but
Yeah.
it's a whole fucking task to deal with.
Really?
When you're going to open mics and shows and shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We should talk more about sketches too. I'm trying to really
yeah,
get
man.
into sketch writing, and I think especially with your experience, I could definitely use your help. So
Yeah, I would love to set up regular writing sessions too. With
yeah,
people
I'm trying
and
to do that
stuff.
too.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of free time out there.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
gotta fucking fill it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like you said, you always feel like things can be better. I can always do more, so I'm just trying to
fuck yeah,
find that
man.
lane, you know?
Always room for improvement.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Yeah, let's figure it out. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, hell yeah. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, everyone, for watching, listening to the Millennial Meltdown podcast. Follow on YouTube, Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, wherever the fuck you get your podcasts. We're out there. So, thanks. Appreciate it.
Whoop, whoop.
See you guys later.